2 boop.
Beep.
3 boop. I should
Beep. You should probably
go do a thing.
okay. Go into mod view.
Do that.
Currently, I don't see anything. It's just a black screen.
Is it?
Yes.
That should not be.
Let me reload. Okay, no, I just had to reload. All right.
Alright. Okay. We good. There we go. Okay.
All right.
It'd probably be appropriate for me to do this.
Oh, switch.
It seems appropriate.
It does, not gonna lie.
Oh, hello, Advoid.
Hi, Advoid,
It's
yes.
coming.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I made some adjustments to Hakuoki's.
Alright, so. Alright.
I did make adjustments.
An alternate timeline where a female Okuzume gets involved with the Shinsengumi. Haruka Shinomi is the leader of the Shinomi demon clan that works with the Shogun. She uses her role not only protect the people of Ezo, but other demon clans all over Japan in secret. When she makes an appearance to the Shinsengumi to investigate Kodo Yukimura's disappearance, she caught someone's attention and ends up involved in the group's affairs as she continues to work for them. Notes: Hi, I just wanted to write an alternate timeline with an older protagonist.
Why must you read my notes?
Because they're there. But, okay, anyways, let's go! Chapter 1, Origin to Air. I woke up to the color of gray and white, a wind swirling small white wisp above me. I should also note that this is Ezo, and I reached out with my hand to it. The small specks land, and they quickly turn to droplets. What is it? Where is it? And what am I? I should also ask, where is Gamora?
What the fuck?
I sat up, the scenery coming into view. I was somewhere high, the sight below me showing fields of green and a concentrated blob of brown and gold. Some clouds of black. Turning my head, the sight of brown appears again, but with some green attached to it. But all around me I see is white. I reach for the white, and with my hand it quickly sinks, but the white was soft, but still turned into droplets when I pulled it back up. That felt nice. I did it again, and again, and again, and again. I turned it into a ball, tossed it into the white, and it blended back in. I made another ball, but curiosity got the better of me. Yeah, you wrote curiously, but it's curiosity.
Yay.
I took a bite. It turned into droplets. No, maybe a giant one, and I drank it. Whatever it was, I felt better. Ready for another bite of the soft white, I felt something fall across my eyes. This is hair? Mine? It was also white. Though it was soft, it was different to the white surrounding me. Why are they so different? Having had enough, I stood up and decided to investigate the brown with green. I walked to them. The ground was less white and more of a different brown. The brown that I saw before was tall. This is a tree. I think it is. I touched the rough exterior of it. It's so different from the white on the ground. Yuki. Yuki. I looked at my hand, flexed it open and closed. I stared at the white ground. Yuki. Snow. That's what it's called. But snow is white, and my hair is white. Am I Yuki too? Hey, girl! A voice? I turned to the sound. A person was waving at me, holding a lantern in his hand and heading this way. I didn't feel scared or worried, but curious. I walked slowly to them. What the hell are you doing out here like this? Come with me, you need to get inside and warm up! Warm up? Yes, it's freezing out here! This person took my hand and led me to a brown thing. No, wait, a house. And this person was, here, sit right here. I sat down as instructed. Not long after, a cloth was wrapped around me. Sort of a blue color, but now it was turning a bit orange. Looking up, I saw a red color. No. Fire. It was a warm fire. Do you feel okay? The person came up to me and handed me a cup. Looked down at it. Was this tea? I took a sip before looking at them and nodded my head. Oh, that's not the right one. What were you doing out there like that? I woke up there. His eyes widened. Woke up? Yes, in the snow. In the snow. You must be freezing. No, it felt comfy. Uemo? The man, I'm thinking, looked a bit surprised. Huh. You're a strange girl. Girl? Yes. That's your gender, isn't it? Yes, you are right. Then you... He crossed his arms. A man. My name is... Can... I tilted my head. His name sounded muffled. Can you repeat that? Uemo Shinomi. Uemo Shinomi. Do you have a name? I don't know. You don't know. I thought for a second thing was telling me a name, but is that my real name? Yuki Onna? Yuki Onna? That's strange. I mean, it kinda fits you, but what if I gave you a new name? A new name? He smiled at me. Yes, something that suits you. He crossed his arms and sat there looking at me, his head tilted, eyes looking right at me up and down. Then again, maybe Yuki really does fit you. Standing up, he came to me and bent over. His eyes were pink. His hair sort of a reddish, pinkish brown, fashioned back into a ponytail. He looked into my eyes until he lifted his hands and moved my hair apart. That's interesting. You have small horns. I do. He then looked at my ears. Yeah, your ears are pointed too. Are you not human? Human? You don't look like you could hurt anyone. His face returned to look at mine. You remember nothing of being in the snow, right? I remember nothing but waking up. He then smiled. I think I have no choice but to take care of you. Take care of me? He nodded his head. What do you think of becoming my wife? He smiled. Wife? I'm kidding. Can you explain to me? Oh god, this is gonna be another Goku thing, isn't it?
The truth will be revealed in time.
I know. He sat down across me. Do you know what marriage is? No. You really don't know anything. Well, marriage is a unification of two people who love each other. Love each other? Yes. And then they become husband and wife. They take care of each other, support one another, love one another. Most even have children with one another. They become a family. Yes, that's right. Maybe you do know something. Maybe you died and came back to life if you knew that much. My eyes widened. Memories came rushing back to me. Blood everywhere. My body was hurting. I couldn't move my body, but it was being dragged away. Far away. In the middle of the night. My body was shaking and an Uemo came up to me. Yuki, are you okay? He gently placed his hands on my shoulder. I snapped out of it. Huh? What's wrong, Yuki? You were shaking. Did you remember something? I don't want to remember. But maybe I did die. Uemo's eyes widened. He then looked down and held my hands. No worries. Maybe you were given a second chance. But why would I die? I don't have the answer for that. But maybe we were meant for each other. Uemo, can I be your wife? He looked back at me. Huh? You're taking that seriously? I have no other place to go, and I remember nothing of the world. Yuki. He held my hands a bit tighter. I will do everything to teach you and protect you. If that's what you want, then I will accept. Uemo, I want to be your wife. Then I will be your husband. You are now Yuki Shinomi. I smiled at him. I feel happy. He smiled back, and so am I. He then leaned closer. Our lips met. It felt warm, loving. This was a kiss. And I don't remember kissing before, but it felt right. And being with Uemo felt right.
I'm sorry, the playlist just played the perfect fucking music right there.
Oh my god!
It played
That is so fucking good! Yes!
Oh my! The playlist knew the mood.
Oh yeah.
Oh god. Playlist new.
Playlist new.
Playlist new.
Time had passed and it was almost the end of winter. My hair had grown longer, turned a dark red. I found out my eyes were blue, my horns grew, and now I have 4 of them. I wore a blue kimono that Uemo bought me. Some snow was still on the ground outside, so I decided to gather some in a pile of one place. It was halfway up my calf, but there was something weird about it. Something is missing. I patted the top of the pile, and then I looked at my hand. My palm. My fingers. I looked around for a sharp branch. I don't know what I'm doing, but something in my head is telling me to do this. I cut one of my fingers open enough for some blood to drip out. I let it fall onto the snow pile. It's soaking into it. There's a slight glow from it. I closed my eyes as a strong wind appears to face me. I can feel specks of snow hit my face, but the next second it's gone. The only thing I feel is a tug on my kimono from the ground. I opened my eyes and looked around. They widened to find a small being. I was looking up at It was looking up at me, holding onto my kimono still. You... What? Did I? I blinked and then picked up the small being to my arms. It looked at me and smiled. It looked happy to be near me. I touched my face with its small hands curiously. My eyes widened at the realization. A child? Did I make a child? Quickly, I ran to find Uemo with the child. Dear, look! Uemo brought his axe down onto a piece of firewood before returning to me. What's wrong, Yuki? I made a child! Wait, what? Don't you mean you found a child? No, look! I shake my head. I handed him the child, and Uemo took it and looked at it. The child had dark red hair and blue eyes. They look like you. How did you... I looked at him excitedly. I don't know why exactly, but it was like nature was telling me to make a snow pile and give it some of my blood. Blood? Yes, look! I showed him the cut on my finger, but it was all healed. Huh. It healed. It shouldn't heal that fast, Uemo blinked. He looked at the child. We should bring her inside. She's a girl? Yes, she is. Now, get inside and you can explain. Uemo leads the way back inside carrying the small child. I picked up another sharp stick from the ground and looked at it. As Uemo placed the child in a blanket across from the fire safe distance away, I took the cut stick and cut my finger again. Wiping the blood away, I saw the cut heal instantly. Oh dear. Hi, Unat.
Oh, hello.
You have questions.
What
What's
questions?
the question? Alright, ask away.
The playlist went from giving us an appropriate soundtrack to whatever the fuck it switched to.
You made a child. Also, what are you saying? Oh, this is her little archive. She's got an altar story for Hakuoki.
Yeah.
Oh, dear, it healed right away. Ah, don't go doing that out of curiosity, Yuki. Uemo yelled at me. You are more difficult than the child here. Are they... What was it again? A baby? No, they might look like... They look like they might be two. Uemo got up. Watch her. Don't let her get near the fire. I'll see if I can fashion a kimono to wear. I sat down and had the girl sit on my lap. I looked down at her and she looked up. She was all smiles and reaching up to me. I smiled back. You are very small. Uemo came back with some fabric, needle, and thread. He started to sew something together. So you just felt the need to do that? A pile of snow, I mean. Yes, it was as if the land told me I had this ability. I gave the child one of my fingers to play with, as if telling me you can have a family. Well, I suppose a family can be more than a husband and wife. He finished sewing and picked up the girl from my lap. He held her up and put on the small kimono. There, that should make her more comfortable. The girl blinked before laughing and tugging at her new clothes. We should name her. Any ideas, Yuki? I sat there thinking, looking at the fire. A name for our little girl. Or? Uemo was stunned, but I had no idea why. Chiaki. Chiaki? Her hair is red, isn't it? I like it. He looked down at their little girl. Chiaki-chan. Doesn't that sound nice? Mama gave you a nice name. He smiled, I smiled, and the laughter of our daughter filled the room.
The playlist doesn't know what it wants to play. Now it plays an appropriate song.
I don't fucking know what's going on.
It's just playing a song!
Are you sure you're okay with going into town with Chikai? Uemo asked me as he tightened the fabric around me to secure our child. I can get food on my own, and Chikai falls asleep when I carry her like this.
Chiaki.
Chiaki?
Chiaki.
Chiaki. We'll be fine. I patted her on the head as she's close to my chest. On my back was a basket to carry our food home. Okay, just be careful, Yuki. Uemo kissed us both goodbye and we went on our way to the nearest town. As always, it was busy and full of people coming and going. Children playing and laughing. Maybe one day Chiaki will join them. Yuki-san! Yuki-san comes back for some more supplies? A woman called out to me. Michiko-san, I'm just here to buy food for the family. I see, and this little one? My daughter, Chiaki. Oh, she's adorable! She must be 3 now, no? Yes, but she still loves being carried around like this still. Oh, I'm sure she'll grow out of it. Now, what did you need? As I waited for the items I needed, I felt a presence. I didn't know where it was coming from. I took a look around for a bit, but nothing had caught my attention until I was pulled into a nearby alley. My eyes widened as I held my daughter protectively by the sudden pull. I looked up and saw a man in a black kimono, sword at his side. Black hair and a long ponytail and red eyes. What do you think you're doing? Huh? Don't you know how to cover your ears in public? I reached up to him confused. My ears? And bringing a child into the public? Into public? Are you nuts? Wait, I don't... Who are you? Stop moving away from me. I slowly started to back away. Stop moving away from me. You should know the rules. Rules? Yes. If a demon must go out in public, they must hide their ears. Demon? The man blinked at her. Yes, demon. I don't know what that is. The man looked at her skeptically. What? I don't know what a demon is. Seriously? Were you orphaned or something? No, I was killed and brought back to life by this land. Now he was the one that was confused. What? Yuki-san, your items are ready! Mikacho yelled for me. Figuring I was visiting another shop nearby. I'll be right there! I turned around and headed back there. The man slowly followed me and stayed behind the corner. He said how heavy my basket must have been and came over. Let me carry that for you. Huh? You want to... You're carrying a child and that thing is heavy. Just let me. Mikacho and I looked at each other for a second at the stranger. Okay then, just follow me. I started to lead the way as he put on the basket and followed me back home. Most of the trip was quiet, save for the time Chikai woke up and started babbling nonsense at me. Mama! Sky blue!
I wanted to do it.
Oh, go for it then.
Yay! Mama, sky blue.
Yes, sweetie, the sky is blue. What about the clouds?
White.
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 White!
White.
Yes, good job. The man continued to walk behind me until we arrived at my home. Uemo saw us and came out of the house. Who is this? The man put down the basket and straightened up. Shinami Kazuma. Thank you for helping my wife, Uemo bowed. I bowed slightly to him as well. Wife? You married a human? Shinami looked at me. And had a child together? No, I made my daughter. Maid? Yes, I could show you. Uemo looked at me uncomfortably. Yuki, I don't think we're ready for another child. Oh, but then I can't show him what I mean. Shinami looked confused. First you say you don't know what a demon is, and now you say you made your daughter? Demon? Tell me, does she have white hair, golden eyes, and horns? She has white hair and horns, but Yuki's eyes are blue. Blue? Shh, he turned to me. Show me. Okay. I close my eyes and concentrate on coursing energy through my body. My hair turns white, 4 horns on my head, and when I open my eyes, I'm sure they're still blue. Oh. Shinami looks at me and walks around me. You are different from other demons. He stops in front of me, and you claim to have died and been reborn. I nod my head. I think I was human before I was killed. Then I woke up in the snow before Uemo found me and cared for me. Shinami crossed his arms. You are not one of us, and yet you clearly look like one. No matter. I will just have to teach you our ways. And you do not have children. He turned to Uemo. Do not have children together with her. You will taint her pure blood with a human. With a normal human. Understand? I don't understand. What do you mean? Who's there?
It's a fade.
Oh.
He's late to the party.
Eh.
What are you playing?
It's just art.
No.
And I'm reading.
Yeah.
Humans and demons are forbidden from mating. But even if our kind are compatible, you must not have one if you want to continue this marriage. Oh. Uemo blinked a couple times at him. Kazuma-san, can I ask, how is Yuki able to make beings from just snow in her blood? Is that how you did it? I nodded. Then you must have powers over snow and ice. You can bring it to life. Some sort of gift for being reborn. You can start a whole clan. Shinami didn't look at us. If you plan on doing so, make your village a bit further into the forest. Wait, won't they all just be babies? You make beings out of snow. You could probably make them as old as you want. You will be the protector as its leader. Me? Yes. Do not worry. I will teach you everything I know. Okay. I will be the leader. What is your family name? Shinami looked at Uemo. Shinomi? Then Ezo shall be home to the Shinomi clan. I only came here for some rare delicacy, but I found a whole new demon clan instead. That will be fun to tell everyone back home. Where did you come from? From Kyo. Huh? That far? Why? Like I said, there were rumors of a rare delicacy here. He gave a small smile. Humans can sometimes make good food. And it lets me travel a bit. Well, then you're welcome to stay here if you like. Shinami just shook his head. I already have a room at the end of the village. It would be a waste of money if I didn't use it. Shinami then turned back to the path that leads to the village. Tomorrow, we start, Yuki. I will teach you absolutely everything, including how to wield a sword. I nodded my head. Then Uemo and I watched as Shinami made his way back to the village. It was a strange turn of events, but I never expected what's to come next. Well then.
What?
This is getting interesting.
Is it?
Alright, let's...
Do you like the ancestor of Kazuma?
The what?
The ancestor of Kazuma?
I actually do so far.
Oh, no
Fate is gonna get food, he says.
I will write more about him later.
We had moved deeper into the forest. I was taught many things by Shinami. He'd visit us frequently. And when he left the last time, he gifted me a sword that was named Yuki Onna, my original name. But that was all that happened in 5 years. Shikai is almost 7. Chiaki was almost 7. There are now more houses built. I created more demons of ages and sizes. We taught them many things and helped each other out. Some of them married each other. Some of them resembled me a little. Others resembled Shinami due to him giving a small vial of his blood for some diversity, as he put it. There were children Chiaki could finally play with, apart from the children in a nearby village where we go from time to time to buy or trade food. We learned... What?
There was a bang outside, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Probably a garbage truck.
Oh, most likely.
Hmm.
We learned how to look as human as possible, but for the young, it can be very difficult, so they rarely go, if at all, until they learn or are older. Everything was peaceful until our home was on fire. There were a group of men that claimed to be from the nearby village. Michiko had come to warn us, but before she did, she was struck down by one of the men. One of them, their leader, walked up to us. Monster! You're a monster! The man shouted. Uema was protecting me and Chiaki. Behind us were scared clan members, few of them ready to take up arms. Monster? What the hell are you talking about? This woman died 6 years ago. She should be dead. And if she's here alive, explain that! Explain that! How do you know she died? Why? Because I killed her myself, he grinned. Now move or you'll die too. No. Dear! Kaze, take them away. Kaze, a tall man with brown hair. Not green hair, by the way, but brown hair. Oh, yeah, he's way over here. Okay. And he's definitely not a twin either. Had his hand on my shoulder and tried to guide Chiaki and I back. No, Kaze, wait! But he didn't listen. We got further and further away from Uemo. I couldn't look away. I tried to escape Kaze's grip, but things turned red. Uemo fell to the ground, his blood pouring into the ground. I could hear the men laughing, and it was the only thing I heard. Kaze, look after Chiaki. My eyes only looked to the men. My hair turned white, my horns appeared on my head, my ears pointed. My hand was on the hilt of my sword. Yuki-sama, you don't mean... I am protecting my clan, and they hurt people I care about. Take care of her. Kaze picked up Chiaki and made sure she didn't see what was about to happen.
Mama!
Mama?
Mama!
That was
not...
letting you... No.
I know.
Mama!
There we go. I sped in the direction of the men as a storm rolled in. The one that struck my husband was cut in half. The next moment, I moved on to the one that killed Mikicho. They tried to draw her sword, but I cut their arm before they could. The rest of the group tried to run and reach me. My hand swung to face them, and large icicles appeared from the ground, piercing each of them, killing them. Oh. I must have looked horrifying. A demon with piercing blue eyes in the dark, a sharp blade at her side, a sea of blood at my feet. At her feet, snow falling to the ground, covering the dead bodies of Mikacho and Uemo. I screamed my lungs out. What I didn't expect was a figure I recognized. Chinami. What the hell happened? Yuki, what happened? Uemo is dead. Michiko is dead. I had to. Chinami, I had to. I looked up at him with my glowing blue eyes. They would go after my family. What choice did I have? Chinami just looked at the carnage I made. He spotted both Mikacho and Uemo before looking back at me. Yuki, give them life again. What? Use your blood to bring those two back. But damn it, just do it before it's too late. That is the power you were given. Do it! My eyes widened. I ran over to Michiko, cut my finger, and poured droplets of blood onto her snow-covered body. Then I ran over to Embo and did the same. The glow that I remember from Chiaki's creation appeared over them. The wind this time was stronger than ever before. When I opened my eyes, I saw Uemo. His hair had turned white. He opened his eyes, and I saw they were blue. Dear? Uemo slowly sat up, shook his head. His hair turned to the normal reddish pinkish brown, I know, his eyes back to pink. He looked like he always did. Yuki? He quickly felt his chest when he was struck down. His clothing was torn there, but his wound was gone. What happened? I looked over at Michiko. Shinami was helping her sit up. She looked normal as well. Her black hair and bluish-purple eyes returned from the white and blue they were a second ago. Looking back at Uemo, my eyes watered. I cried. I hugged him. He was confused, but he hugged back. You're back! You're alive! I brought you back! I kept crying into his shoulder. He didn't speak. He just hugged me and made sure I could feel his warmth. Shinami and Michiko came over to us. Michiko hugged us both as well in silence. This is what humans do. Do you understand now not to get too close to them? Are you still going through with your idea? I just looked at him. Shinami, not all of them are bad. Uemo, Michiko, even myself, we were all human. I still want to be their protector along with my clan. Shinami sighed. I cannot agree with your choice. But if you really want a treaty with the people of Ezo, I cannot stop you. He looked to the people of my clan. You have doubled the responsibility. I just hope you're ready for it. I am. I stand up. I am. No, we will be Ezo's protectors. The Shinomi clan shall look not over themselves, but everyone else living here. If anyone tries to break that, they shall be punished. Shinami smirked. You sound like a leader, all right. Alright, let's see how this goes in the coming years. Let's see, that was back all the way in... Oh, that doesn't say exact.
It just says Ezo because I can't put a date on things. At least for as far back as that, I'm not gonna put a date on it.
Okay. 1850, really nifty. Millard Fillmore's in.
What the fuck?
It's the U.S. President song from the Animaniacs.
Huh? I don't remember this.
I definitely do.
Of course you do. You're older than me.
That's true.
Now you learn the secret of whose perspective this is all from.
Alright. I got it. And I shall go over here and kerplop.
Kerplop?
Kerplop.
Ah, okay. That's for later. Why did that say whiskey?
Because it did.
Oh, it did say whiskey.
Well, Ulysses Simpson Grant, he'd scream and Raven rant while drinking whiskey, although risky because he'd spill it on his pants.
Hi, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
The stretch and the drink. Okay, now I gotta pay attention because I'm Haruka.
Oh boy. I had long 1850. I had long died, but the Shinomi clan continues to protect those of Ezo. But one of my descendants has taken upon himself to be himself.
Yes, himself.
Yukata. Become the protector of demons himself. Yukata Shinomi, the current head of the Shinomi clan. Also Haruka's father. Say that he would keep thought with his job working under the Tokugawa shogunate, he would keep track of demon clans privately. Humans have been getting greedy, at least those in power, looking to abuse us and our strength. My only goal now is to watch over the leaders and their heirs, and this young leader had brought his daughter with him to Edo. Haruka Shinomi, the 12-year-old heiress to the clan. So she was born in 1832. 8.
Let me see.
It says 12 years old, and it's 1850, so therefore 1832.
Yeah, so her and Kazuma are the same age. Can't wait for that.
Alright. Her eyes and hair, by extension of her father's, were were pinkish brown for the hair and pink for the eyes. Seems Uemo's blood still runs strong, though she had 2 beauty marks on her face, one under her left eye and one under her lip as well. I mean, I've got those as well, but one's under my right eye and the other one's above the left side of my top lip.
Oh my god. Why is it the opposite?
I have no idea, but I was made first, so I think you're the copycat.
I didn't even know this. How the fuck?
Bullshit, you're a witch.
That doesn't mean I know people's appearances. God fucking damn it.
But,
what? What?
I'm trying to think, what is it? Oh, it's a magic term. What is it? Foresight?
Why is innocent proposal playing right now at this moment?
Alright, there we go. The young girl had tied her hair up high in the back with bangs in the front. She wore a light purple yukata with a dark blue hakama. A white sword was at her side, attached to her hip by a green sash. Yukata was wearing a gray kimono. Yukata.
You okay?
Wait a minute, hold on.
What?
Yukata is also the name of her father, but also what she's wearing? Oh, never mind, I see it. Yukata. Okay. They look so similar. It's like Hanada and Hanaka.
Sorry.
Yukata was wearing a gray kimono with a black hakama. I wish you would wear something more colorful. Fuck you, no I'm not. They were walking towards a dojo they were looking into. Shie Hall. At least, they were supposed to.
Oto-san, are we there yet?
Shouldn't be much longer. Haruka just stared at her father as she walked behind him. She got used to her father being directionless most of the time. But this was an important thing they were doing. Looking for a dojo for her younger brother, Minato.
We're lost, aren't we?
Yukata looked a bit nervous. Now, why would you say that?
I'm sure it's past the time we're supposed to meet Kondo Dono.
Yeah, yes, well, at that point he noticed a peddler heading their way. Excuse me, young man! The man stopped and looked up at Yukata. He had long black hair with a ponytail with purple eyes. Haruka looked at him from behind her father. There was something about him that was interesting to her. What is it? Do you know where Shie Hall is from here? He turned to the direction he came from. If you continue this way and then take a right, you can't miss it. See, Haruka? We weren't that far off. Haruka looked at her father deadpan.
Oto-san.
The peddler looked at Haruka and noticed her sword. Are you going there to join the dojo? Haruka crossed her arms.
No, I have a master. It's for my younger brother.
How old are you?
12.
It's surprising to see a girl with a sword. Yukata chuckled. She takes after me. The man turned back to Yukata. Would you be interested in some medicine? Medicine? Is that what you're selling? He nodded. Ishida medicinal powder. It heals just about everything. Haruka looked at the man, making a face at him that she didn't believe him.
Oto-san, we don't have time for this. We're already late.
Alright. Maybe if we meet again, we must go. The peddler nodded and went on his way as Haruka and her father headed for Shie Hall. The next few years, however, will change drastically for both humans and demons.
Gee, I wonder who the peddler was.
Black hair with purple eyes, it couldn't have possibly been, Hijikata's father.
Nope.
Oh, it wasn't, huh?
Do I have to remind you what year Hijikata was born?
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yes, Hijikata was a peddler before everything.
February 1863. Haruka was walking to Edo Castle, February 1863. I feel like there's an echo in the room. For some reason, she was called upon to return from her normal work.
Oh.
That's you.
Wait, what?
Let's see what they want. Probably sending me
Oh.
far away again. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. I was concentrating on art. Let's see what they want. Probably sending me far away again.
In those years, both her and her brother had died. Both her brother and father had died. She didn't die. Hold on. At 15, she took over her father's role for working for the shogunate to keep relations in check. Now, at 24, with two swords at her side, Yuki Ono and Kogaratsu Maru, a tealish kimono with blue floral pattern, light blue hadajuban underneath, gray hakama, and a brown sash holding her swords. At the end of her sleeves of her kimono was the snowflake family crest of the Shinomi clan. However, she wasn't alone. Next to her at her feet was a white Shiba Inu with orange accents on his feet and ears named Shimu. They must have been traveling together at least 2 years at this point and have been excellent as companions. Haruka opened the door to the castle and only saw 3 people just as she and Shimu went inside.
Hitomi-san, what was I summoned for?
Haruka said as she walked up to the small group. Ah, Shinomi-san, good, you're here. I can start explaining some things now. Hitomi looked over at the other 2 men. These are Hachiro Iba and Kotaro Motoyama. They've just begun working for the shogunate. Haruka looked at them and seemed a bit nervous.
Welcome, I suppose.
Thank you? Iba just smiled at her. It's nice to meet you, Shinomi-san. And to you two, this is Haruka Shinomi. She's been working for the shogunate for about 10 years now. 10 years? I see. You must be very experienced then. Haruka turned to Hitomi.
What is all this?
Hitomi crossed his arms. There's a new group to be formed next year. The Okazume Squad. Basically, they will serve as bodyguards to the shogunate and other officials.
And I was called because...
You will train these 2 in everything you know. What? Haruka looked at him in bewilderment.
Excuse me? Train? Explain
like-
this.
Just like she looked at him like this.
Yes, exactly.
Your position is being changed to an Okazume. You can use that title before that as well if you like to. But these 2 men are exceptional at swordsmanship. However, they need guidance at everything else. Haruka looked away at disbelievement. Thank you for the redeems.
I'm gonna drink first.
Agua.
No, soda.
Acaban, el construye en el agua. Actually, she can go first. Okay. This really isn't happening.
I'm right here, sir.
Yeah.
This is really happening, isn't it?
Hitomi put an arm on her shoulder. Look at it this way. You won't be traveling alone anymore. Okay, as alone anymore. Haruka just elbowed him in the stomach to get him off of her.
I like traveling alone, I'll have you know.
Hitomi quickly recovered and laughed. You need to be friendlier. Or do you really like the title of the Shogun's Demon that much? Haruka shot a look at him. You're the Shogun's Demon?
Unfortunately, that's what stuck.
She looked at both Iba and Motoyama.
If you two are going to follow me, don't annoy me, and listen to my orders.
Yes, ma'am! Yotoyama said quickly. Iba just nodded his head. Haruka glanced back at Hitomi. What?
What?
Things are a lot more clear on why she's wearing that outfit now.
Where am I going now?
Tosa, check in with Yamayuchi. Oh, and if you find any members of the Tosa Kinato, arrest them.
Right. Another long journey.
Isn't that a month away? Haruka just nodded her head.
I suggest we quickly find supplies for the trip. We may also not find places to rest at night on the way there.
She then started to walk away with Shimu to lead the castle.
When you two are done, meet me at the port.
She yelled back at them. Hitomi put his hand on his hip. Better hurry, she doesn't like waiting that long. Iba and Motoyama looked at each other and headed on their way to get supplies. Haruka, however, went to her estate first.
Not a second's rest as always.
At the front of the estate was a young man sweeping the ground with dark skin, purple hair, and blue eyes, wearing a purple floral patterned kimono. Haruka ni!
Haruka ne.
Haruka ne, you're back! She smiled at her.
Wait.
Shota.
Shota, how are you?
Shimu ran up to Shota and ran in circles around him, his tail wagging happily. I'm fine. Is it a short visit today?
I'm heading to Tosa.
But...
Seems I have company this time.
Company? A woman's voice said. They looked at the store at the estate to find a woman in a yellow patterned kimono, long, dark bluish black hair with a high ponytail, bluish purple eyes, and a gun attached to her side.
I'm apparently supposed to help train 2 people for a new group, Miko. Honestly, Hitomi-san could handle it himself.
Miko walked over to them. Well, at least you will have some human interaction now. Maybe it'll lighten up that cold air you have about you.
Not you two.
Either way, just play nice with them. I'm sure they'll be fine under your care, Haruka-sama. Haruka just nodded her head reluctantly. They entered the estate for a few minutes, talking as they prepared for Haruka's departure. When they were done, she made her way to the port, Shimu leading the way for her. When she arrived, she and Shimu just watched ships load and unload, sailing off and docking. Shinomi-san! Haruka turned around to see Iba and Motoyama.
Good. Let's get going.
She said as she headed in a direction. Wait, are we not taking a ship? Motoyama asked as he and Iba ran to catch up with her. That says tan, but it's ran.
I see it. Taking a ship or walking will equal a month either way. I'd rather walk through forests and scenery than be stuck in the water where you're vulnerable.
Is that what you usually do? Iba walked alongside her. She glanced at him just before looking back at the road.
I'll only take a ship if I go home, or if I need to go somewhere not already attached to this land.
Motoyama walked on her other side. You're not from Edo?
I'm from Ezo. My family has an estate in Edo due to working for the Shogun for over 200 years.
Ha! Here. Huh? Your family has been working that long? Iba looked surprised. You're more open about this than I thought. Haruka didn't look at either one of them.
You'll find out at some point by someone, be it Hitomi-san himself or some other official.
I see. Haruka looked back at Motoyama.
I know Iba is from the Iba Dojo. What about you?
Well... Motoyama seemed nervous. I'm just a friend of Iba's. I'm not that great of a swordsman, and so I'm really here to offer support. Motoyama, you're a great swordsman. You're also good at keeping track of just about everything. That's coming from a genius who picked up sword training at 11. Haruka looked at Iba.
You didn't start when you were younger?
I was a weak, sickly child back then, but one day I found a reason to pick up the sword. Just happened to pick it up fast.
Do I get to know your reason?
Iba looked a bit surprised at her asking that. He looked away for a while in silence before deciding on his choice. I wonder if it's really worthy of a reason. Motoyama looked over at Iba. Whatever the reason, you never gave up on it. I may have made a promise when I was a child to protect someone, though I haven't seen her in years. Ooh, Iba does it for love, does he? Motoyama, please, don't tease. Iba looked at him, but Motoyama grinned a little bit wider. However, both of them turned their heads to Haruka, who gave a short laugh.
It's a worthy reason to pick up a sword. I'm sure the time will come where you'll see her again.
Haruka then walked just a bit faster towards her destination in a better mood than before. The other two just stopped in their tracks. They just got her to lower her guard a bit. They made her laugh. Quickly realizing what they did, they ran up to catch up. They ran after her to catch up once again.
Yay.
Who says this next line?
It's
Yamauchi?
Yeah.
Haruka-san, come to check on me again? Haruka, Iba, and Motoyama found themselves in front of Yamauchi, the daimyo of Tosa. Haruka just sat further in front of Iba and Motoyama as Yamauchi sat in front of her. Shimu was sitting beside her.
Yes, just to see how you are dealing with the Kinoto.
Ah, so you have heard about what happened to Yashida-san?
Yes, I have. It is a shame he died.
Yamauchi looked at her. But I hear you have no problems with the Kinoto, is this true? Haruka merely blinked.
My only stance is I understand where they are coming from. Punishing them for their ancestors isn't right. Otherwise, I'm fine with opening up our world a bit more. But maybe that's why I'm not a daimyo.
Yamauchi grinned. You might be right, but then order would only be in chaos, wouldn't it?
So you say. Though, Ezo takes care of everyone for hundreds of years, so I may be an outlier.
In any case, so far they have been quiet. I'm sure they're planning another assassination. He then tilted his head at Haruka for a bit. Could I call upon your services to end them all? Haruka just gave a small smile.
I'm pleased you would like that from me, but I'm afraid I do have places to be. I can't stay here long term, and I have to return these two to Edo as well.
Are they officials you're protecting? Or did you finally gain some pages?
I'm just training them. Seems my position is growing and one woman isn't enough.
But you're the very best they had! Though you do travel everywhere by foot. Suppose more are necessary. But that would mean I would see less of your beauty. Motoyama and Iba looked at each other. Or is he actively flirting with her? How is he not dead for acting that way with her? How is she putting up with them? She looked so calm, but Iba was noticing she was gripping her hakama the more he spoke. Time flowed on, and it was finally time for them to depart the castle. Haruka was given a package as a farewell gift. When the three of them were far enough from sight, she gave the gift to Motoyama.
Here, I don't want whatever that is.
Wait, I can have it? Motoyama felt it was warm. Might be food. Haruka just walked away so slowly so they could catch up with her.
I never eat it. Share with Iba.
Motoyama unwrapped it, and it was rice balls. It's fresh rice balls! Are you really sure, Shinomi-san?
Yes, just eat them.
Iba smiled and grabbed one along with Motoyama. Arigato, Shinomi-san! They both took a few bites. It has pickled plums in it. Haruka just stopped in her tracks before turning back at them. Her eyes were devoid of feelings, but on her face was a scary smile.
That's why I don't ever eat it.
Iba raised an eyebrow. What do you mean?
They're always rice balls. Always with pickled plums.
Haruka gave a short laugh.
I'm allergic to them and he knows it.
Motoyama choked a bit on his food and coughed. Allergic? Why would he do that? Haruka's smile dropped and she shrugged.
To get me off his back, or make me stay in Tosa longer so he can take care of me. Not the first time someone's tried that one, but he might be the first to almost make it work the first time I met him.
That scary smile returned though.
So, what have we learned?
Iba and Motoyama were disturbed. That's what we learned. People have actually tried to kill her this way. And more than once over the course of 10 years. They both swallowed the spit in their mouth before Iba spoke. Be cautious of officials and those around them. They could know your weaknesses and you never know it till it's too late. Haruka clapped her hands.
Good. Iba-kun gets it. Motoyama-kun, be more aware.
Hi, Shinomi-san. Motoyama looked back at the rice ball in his hand and then back at her. Is this safe to keep eating, or... Haruka blinked before she started laughing.
Unless you're also allergic to pickled plums, go ahead. Nothing else was wrong with them. They really only expected me, not you two.
The two men looked at each other, and it seemed they brought down her walls another peg. Haruka then took a look around.
Why don't you two sit by that shop? Sit over by that shop. I have a little thing to check up on. It won't be long. Order some tea as well. It'll be on me.
She then turned and went off on her way. When she was out of sight, Iba started to follow the direction she went. Iba, where are you going? Motoyama said as he followed him. Aren't you a bit curious? Curious? She'll kill us if she finds out we followed her. She warned us in Edo to obey her orders. Iba had a serious look on his face. I know, but I just have this feeling. Come on! He dashed to the street Haruka just turned the corner on. Hey, Iba! Motoyama followed him. As they followed her, they were led to the outskirts where a mansion stood abandoned. The two stayed outside for a bit as Haruka and Shimu went inside. Haruka opened the door and let herself and Shimu inside. She walked around the place a bit. It was dusty and had an odd smell. Only in the past year had the incident happened that it became abandoned. Though she only knew one survivor remained, but in that year it seemed like no one had returned at all.
Still on the run, are we, kid?
She carefully stepped onto the floor to not disturb more dust than she needed to. Shiba followed her footsteps behind her.
You've become untraceable. Good job on that. But you didn't need to go that far. You could have come to me at any time, and yet you chose this.
Then she heard a creak in the room.
Damn it!
She quickly ran back to the other room. She reached her arm out, and there was a sound of metal to her flesh. A searing pain and blood dropped onto the floor. A trap was activated, and she blocked it from hitting the person her arm was blocking. Shinobi-san! Iba had his eyes wide, his mouth open. Haruka just stared at him and Motoyama behind him as he stepped into view. She took out the knife that was in her arm. Motoyama was surprised she just took it out. Wait, let me see that!
I'm fine.
Let me see!
I said I'm fine.
Stop being stubborn! He forced himself between Iba and Haruka. He took Haruka's arm and pulled up her sleeve to look at the wound. But to both of the men's surprise, the wound was sealing itself up. What? he muttered before he could look. Before looking at Haruka, who had a look of anger and disappointment. She pulled her arm back away from them. Her glare was cold as she walked past them. She was headed back to the inn they were staying at. Staring at? Staying at. Iba and Motoyama followed her a distance away in silence. She had Motoyama and Iba wait in their room while she changed into a blue kimono. Then she found a worker and asked her to launder and sew it back into good condition. Finally, she entered their room, slid the door closed, sat against the wall. Shimu crawled into her lap, her eyes closed when she spoke.
Go ahead.
Motoyama and Iba looked at each other. What happened exactly to the wound?
I'm a fast healer.
No way, that's too fast. It just closed up right in front of us, right, Iba? Iba was deep in thought before looking at Haruka. Shinomi-san, do you happen to know a girl from the Yukimura family? Haruka opened her eyes and looked at him.
Yukimura, you say?
He nodded. That girl I said I wanted to protect. As a child, I saw her heal incredibly fast. You know each other? Are you related? Motoyama's eyes widened. Wait, you've seen this before? Iba just nodded his head. Just so we're clear. Oh, that's you.
Just so we are clear, are you referring to Chizuru Yukimura?
Iba nodded once again and Haruka sighed.
Okay. Fine. Let's drop formalities then. Hachiro, Kotaro, what I am about to tell you is a secret, okay? Only the higher-ups in the Shogun know. If I hear that you told anyone, you are dead. Understood?
Both of the men nod their heads.
Okay.
She took a deep breath before continuing.
You've heard me call the Shogun's demon. There is some truth to that. I am a demon. I can heal injuries faster than humans. Also probably stronger than most humans.
A demon? You're kidding, right? Motoyama looked at her, but Haruka just shook her head. Then Chizuru is... Iba mumbled, and Haruka nodded her head.
However, Hachiro, she doesn't know she is one.
He looked at better. Why not?
Her father says she has no memories before Edo. They're basically hiding in plain sight. He doesn't want her to know for her own safety and to live among humans peacefully.
Ah, I see. Then, oh.
Nope, it's not me.
Then what were you doing at an abandoned mansion? Haruka just reached into her kimono, pulled out a book in response to Motoyama's question.
My father, when he got this position, decided he would create a record of demon clans around Japan, keep track of their leaders and heirs, along with any known possessions.
Let's see. She then put the book back into her kimono.
Many clans went into hiding due to humans wanting to use them for their powers. Some even exchanged their power for protection from other humans. When my father died, I took up his role in any promises he made.
She tilted her head back against the wall.
That abandoned mansion belonged to a demon clan. Unfortunately, an accident last year wiped them out except for one.
And what happened to the survivor?
That survivor caused the incident. Damn it.
But what? Iba and Motoyama wore shocked faces. It didn't surprise her when you find out one individual just took out their entire clan themselves. Honestly, it would surprise her for a moment until she figured out who it was that actually survived.
I was at the mansion to see if they had returned since then, but they hadn't. Also found out they trapped the place as some members of the clan were out of town or on errands. Still killed them all with those set traps.
So this is what you really do. It's dangerous.
I'm sure your jaws will be much tamer than mine. I just come from a different world than you.
Haruka then got up.
I will leave you to the rest. We leave tomorrow afternoon.
She then left and slid the door closed, returning to her room, leaving the two men alone with their thoughts. Haruka had left her room at noon with Shimu. She had everything with her that she needed and decided to wait for Iba and Motoyama at a tea shop. Shima was at her feet as she sipped her tea and a plate of dorayaki. Shimu yawned as he was falling asleep, curled up around his master's feet. Haruka could only smile. It's been a while since she and Shimu were just relaxed like this.
Dorayaki is absolutely fucking delicious.
I'm gonna have to try that the next time I'm at Fuji.
Yes.
I want to try one too.
There's a place that sells them, and there was one that was like sweet potato flavor, and I've never had sweet
Ooh.
potato, and it was delicious.
Yum.
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 Take your time, Shima. It will be a little while.
Thank you. She said as she bit into a dorayaki. People walked past her on errands, on strolls. There were even children playing. Regular patrons of the shop stopped by walking past her. Her eyes were closed as a nice breeze passed. Shinomi-san. Haruka opened her eyes and saw Iba near her.
Oh, Iba-kun. You're early.
He sat down next to her. Well, Motoyama wanted to look around a little bit more, so I thought I'd keep you company.
Company, huh? As if I didn't have Shimu.
He smiled. That is true. Oh, that reminds me. Here. He handed her a light blue cord.
A cord?
Yeah, I thought it would look nice on you if you decide to put your hair up.
Nice, huh?
She looked at the cord again.
I haven't had my hair up in years now that I think about it.
I can help tie it up if you want. Haruka looked at Iba. She just gave him a soft smile.
Sure, Hachiro.
Iba got up and took the cord from her hand. Carefully, he gathered as much of her hair as he could and finally tied it together with the cord. It was more towards the left side of her head than he wanted, but maybe that was okay with her. It's not perfect, but how does it feel? I can try again.
Actually, it doesn't feel that bad.
She looked at him.
Thank you.
Drink! She is the main character right now.
Yes,
So.
this is true. Drink.
This counts.
Yes,
This counts.
we did it last night.
Yeah, we did this last night too, and she's the main character. There's nothing to thank me for, and now you'll feel much cooler when the heat comes around. That's for damn sure. Haruka just smirked.
I think you two will do fine in your new positions.
She got up and gathered her things.
Let's go find Motoyama. I want to leave before it gets too dark.
Hi. Haruka paid for her tea and dorayaki before Iba, and Shimu left to find Motoyama. Before long, the four of them were making their month-long trip back to Edo. Haruka wouldn't be in Edo for that long. This time she would be going alone again with Shimu. She didn't mind the company last time, but someone else needed to teach them about how they would work. Traveling on the road out of Edo again, she sighed heavily.
Osaka? Heard there might be something fishy over there this time. I guess we'll find out, won't we, Shimu?
Osaka is on the water, isn't it? Yes, it is. Of course, Osaka is pretty fishy. They do a lot of fishing there.
Oh, Jesus fucking.
Damn it.
God damn it!
Her faithful Shiba Inu barked in agreement as they continued in the afternoon sun towards Osaka.
I can't believe you.
Well, so everyone, that's the end of chapter 1.
Yes, it is. Roshingumi to Shinsengumi.
Alright, that's chapter 2.
Yep.
Oh boy!
Yep. Osaka, May 1863.
Well, there doesn't seem to be trouble here yet, huh, Shimu?
Haruka, Shimu barked in response to Haruka as they walked around Osaka. She was asked if she could patrol for a couple of days to scare off imperialists, as they have been a problem lately. This was a normal thing for her that she got often called for. The scary shogun demon with a snowflake crest is a known tale amongst Ronin. If you see her, don't mess with her. If you mess with her, assume that you're going to die.
Maybe I scared them all off already.
Haruka then turned her head when she heard a loud, weird laugh. At a store, she saw a group of men just outside of it, since they were having some sort of infighting. She listened for a bit to their conversation before deciding if she should step in or not. There's a tall man with shoulder-length hair, with a top-knot beard, and a green haori, and was speaking. Next to him was a slender man with a gray kimono, yellow hakama, and black hair, and a top knot with shaved sides.
I wonder who they are.
The ones that could make easy money today are those they sell to foreigners. All hard work people in Japan do, and they just sell it straight to them.
Do you know who they are?
I do now. I just looked down.
You want to read that again?
Let's see.
I know it's been a while, but still.
The shoulder-length hair, top knot, and beard with a green haori. Oh, I see who it is now. Yeah. The ones that make easy money today are those they sell to foreigners. All the hard work people in Japan do, and they just sell it straight to them. Just makes them a pest to our society. Shouldn't we as nationalists then punish them for betraying their country as our duty? Haruka then looked over at the man he was arguing with. Black hair, ponytail, purple eyes, light purple kimono, gray hakama. And even though he looked pissed off, quite handsome. What the hell kind of logic is that? The slender thin man spoke. Hijikata-kun, you and Kondo-kun kept criticizing our choices, but yet you two have either of you two brought in any money for the Roshingumi? All the while Serizawa said, the slender man, huh? Hijikata-kun, you and Kondo-kun kept criticizing our choices, but yet have either of you brought in any money for the Roshingumi? All the while Serizawa Sensei has been using his connections not only to make us have good graciousness with the Aizu, but gain us money? It's unfair that you two to criticize like that, is it not?
So what?
The men looked over at Haruka as she walked up to them. Just out of nowhere, a woman wearing a hakama carrying swords at her side. Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you, Kenny.
I kind of needed that.
Whee!
Let me
Don't
do
make
it.
him press the button.
Ah!
Kondo looked down at her sleeve and saw the snowflake's crest. His eyes widened as he saw it. Were you eavesdropping, girl? Haruka just had a bored expression on her face.
Oh, that's really got him, apparently.
Just so funny.
You can imagine it, can't you?
Oh, yes.
Actually, hold up.
It's
Wait,
just
hold up.
like-
Wait.
it's- I was gonna describe it as Hijikata
no.
looking bored, only more feminine.
We have it though. We have the scene. This is the scene.
Oh, let's see it on stream. Yes!
This is the scene.
Yes! That's it!
God, this scene was drawn so long ago.
How long?
Oh God, where are we?
Anyways,
I got it.
let's see, Haruka just had a bored expression on her face.
You're out in public arguing. Everyone can hear your business.
All Serizawa could do was give a small laugh. Huh. No one else is messing in that said business but you, and you have no need be. That, and with a sword at your side, as if you were a samurai as a woman. Haruka glanced down at the metal fan he held in his hand, then back at Serizawa.
Serizawa, son of the Roshigumi, is it?
She tilted her head slightly.
Surely making money this way isn't your only plan.
The men's eyes widened. She knew who he was, what their group was. Serizawa took a glance at her family crest as well as figured out who she is. So you know who I am. What gives you the right to judge how I handle things, girl?
No, that's not my right. But I surely have an opinion.
She put her hand on her hip.
And a plan relying on bad reputation and excessive force is not only going to make it harder for you, but cause a rift, pushing people to the edge of their limit.
She then grinned with a laugh.
Then again, it really is all someone as bullheaded as you could come up with. Your fate is probably set in stone at this moment.
Serizawa sneered. You little! He raised his metal fan at her. Serizawa-san. Serizawa Dondo! But all they heard was a clash of metal and metal. The fan flew out of Serizawa's hand, landing on the street with a satisfying thud. Haruka had drawn her sword and had a bored expression on her face again.
Yeah, bullheaded it is, huh?
She sighed.
Predictable.
She sheathed her sword back into its scabbard before she started to walk past the group, stopping for 1 second at Kondo.
Get your damn business done and leave Osaka before I come back. And get rid of Serizawa unless you want more problems.
She then whistled. Shimu was waiting patiently across the street and came running after Haruka with several happy barks. The group just watched her walk away. A slender man went and retrieved the fan that was knocked away. One of the men that in the group with short brown hair and a green hand towel. Green hand towel. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Tied around his head, spoke up. Who is that? The Shogun's demon. Shogun's demon? Never actually thought I'd meet the demon herself. Serizawa had a small grin, but the fact she was a woman was left out. Anyone that crosses her has ended up dead, or so they say. She's still just a girl. Hijikata just glared at him for a second before he noticed Kondo-san looked distant. Something wrong, Kondo-san? No. Well, you got that feeling too. Oh, brown hair, green eyes asked. Ah, you got that feeling too, Kondo-san? Kondo-san just nodded his head. There's no way, right? Kondo just looked uneasy as he asked that. For now, I'm putting that aside. What the fuck am I hearing?
What? Something happened?
It's not from Twitch because I have that tab muted.
Oh no, mystery sound.
Is it coming from this? No.
Sure, it's not coming from outside.
No,
Okay.
it's not.
Hmm.
Because I can... Okay, I'm brushing that aside for right now.
Oh no, mystery sound has gone unsolved.
Mid-August 1863. At the Yagi residence in Kyo, the Shinsengumi, formerly the Roshingumi, were in a bit of trouble. Recently, a person known as Kodo Yukimura that they were working with had disappeared. They were working with him by orders of the shogun. Of course, what they were told to do was uneasy for Kodo and his faction to do, but they needed the support. When Kondo and then Kodo went missing, they had to report to Aizu. Unfortunately, Matsudaria, the daimyo of Aizu, knew exactly who could help in this situation. Ah, Shinomi-san. Uh, thank you for for arriving here so quickly.
I wasn't that far away, to be fair.
She would cross her arms.
What do you need?
Matsudaria smiled. You know of the Shinsengumi in Kyo?
Shinsengumi. Wait, is that Roshigumi's new name?
Yes. We even have them serve under us. Here, Haruka put her hand on her hip.
Let me guess. Serizawa.
Well, you know as well as I do, he has relatives working.
A pain in the ass is what he is.
Ah, crap. You, you really do not hold back. Now tell me, do you know of Kodo Yukimura and his experiments? Haruka blinked.
Of course I do. He came to me about it a while ago. He asked me what to do with it, and as a joke, said to try it on lower vessels if you wanted to experiment so badly.
Well, he took it to heart, it seems. Her face turned surprised for a second, then was nervous.
You're not saying the Shinsengumi is that lower vessel, are you?
He nodded his head. I'm afraid so. But that's not the problem. It seems that Kodo Yukimura has disappeared completely.
Disappeared?
Yes. I was wondering if you could go and figure out what happened. You'll be cleared of all assignments, and this will be your only task.
Is it really necessary?
I already told them that an Okazume would be on their way. Unless you want me to send Iba-san or Motoyama-san. She shook her head.
No, this is fine. They're still training, and I caused this accident somehow.
Matsudaria smiled and put a hand on her shoulder. Think of this as a time to rest. You don't have to move from place to place for a while.
So you say. Well then, I should head off, shouldn't I?
Yes. Oh, and Shinomi-san, Nakano said she had a gift for you for the trip to Kyo. Haruka gave a small smile.
Really? Then I will find her before I leave.
Haruka bowed and then made her way towards the exit. There, she found a young girl with her hair tied back, orange amber eyes, and blue kimono.
Takako, I thought you were headed to Edo.
Takano's eyes. Nakano, there we go. Eyes lit up when she heard Haruka. I'll let you take it.
Okay. Haruka-san!
She ran up and hugged her.
I couldn't leave once I heard you were coming.
Haruka was surprised at the hug and just awkwardly patted her back.
Ah, I see.
Nakano let her go.
But seriously, adopted by Akaoka-sensei? How lucky are you?
Haruka, Nakano smiled.
I'm just glad my skills are recognized. And you seem to have a super important task now, right? Matsudaria wouldn't have requested you like that, right?
Haruka gave her a smile.
You're right. But you can't know what it is. Aww, I bet it's more secret demon stuff.
Haruka just gave a small, content sigh at this young girl.
So, what did you want to give me? Oh, right here.
She handed her a bento box.
Full of handmade dorayaki. I made sure no plums touched it. All by me. Oh, I appreciate Takako. And one more thing.
She crouched down to Shimu.
This is for you, Shimu.
She took out a bone and showed Shimu. He happily opened his mouth and accepted it. His tail was wagging like crazy as Nakano gave him head pats.
Good boy.
You know, whenever I saw the line that said, "You really don't," or what was it? Where is it? "You really do not hold back," made me think of one of my characters, and funnily enough, her name is Melody.
The fuck?
She doesn't mince words. She doesn't have time to. She is straight and to the point. She doesn't care if your feelings are hurt.
Yeah, with Haruka, it's a 50-50 shot.
Well, it's the fact that she's got Scandinavian in origin, which is, you know, where the Vikings are from.
Mm.
And I sort of base her off of Echidna from Fire Emblem Binding Blade.
Oh.
She's the one that basically gets Thor's hammer.
Oh.
Yeah, she's that one.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
Where was I?
Nakano stood up.
Yeah, but can I at least know where you're going?
Kyo. Though if you don't hear from me, you can send letters to the Shinsengumi.
Shinsengumi? Are you staying with them?
I'll probably get an in, but if something happens, just check with them.
Okay, got it. Oh, and don't push yourself, okay? I know you're secret, but you're not invincible.
Haruka laughed, as I did.
Okay. I'll be careful.
Yagi residence. Hijikata was walking to the entrance of the Yagi. They should have arrived. Today was the day, and Okazune was about to arrive about the Kodo situation. Of course, they weren't given a name. He didn't know what he'd expected, but someone had to greet them, so it may as well be him. He sighed and closed his eyes as he stood there at the entrance. Luckily, it wasn't that hot that day, as a breeze was passing through. On occasion, some soldiers would guard the entrance, but with how hot it got, having them stay like that would only give them heat stroke. But today, he just had to deal with things himself. Eventually, he heard footsteps approaching the entrance. He opened his eyes to see a woman from Osaka and her dog. The expression on his face was surprising and uneasy. Not something you'd see out of him all that often. You? What are you doing here? She just stopped in front of him.
The Aizu sent me. Looking for an Okazume, right?
You are... His eyes narrowed at her.
I'm guessing Serizawa already told you I'm the Shogun's demon. I'm usually the one officials call on to fix problems.
Let's see. She just shrugged her shoulders.
I just got a new official title.
Hijikata still looked uneasy. You're going to help us?
That depends if you want my help or not.
Hijikata. Alright, follow me. Haruka and Shimu followed Hijikata as they walked through Yagi. Some soldiers from very far away saw Haruka and were curious. She had a calm expression on her face that reminded them of the 3rd Division captain. They came to a building separated from the main building they used. Hijikata saw the door was slid open and to let the air in. Stopping in his tracks, he looked at Haruka. Stay there, I'll give you a proper introduction. Haruka just nodded along with his suggestion as Hijikata went into the open room. In the room was Kondo-san, Serizawa-san, the slender young man, a young man massaging Serizawa's shoulders, and a man with shoulder-length brown hair and glasses sitting next to Kondo. Hijikata cleared his throat. The Okizume sent by the Aizo has arrived. Hijikata stepped into the room and sat on the other side of Kondo's. Haruka walked to the open room and bowed. Shimu also bowed. I want to see that. That's so cute.
I gotta draw that introduction.
Yum.
Yum.
Okay.
I believe we have met before without introductions. I am Haruka Shinomi. This is my companion, Shimu.
Did you bark?
Everyone except... Yeah.
Oh, it didn't come through.
Everyone except Hijikata and Serizawa had their eyes open in surprise. Serizawa spoke first. So, they sent the Shogun's demon, huh? Oh, sorry, you've made a name for yourself, didn't you? The icy Okizume, was it? He smirked. Haruka looked at him for a second when she straightened herself back up, sat down, and focused on Kondo and his men. I am Isami Kondo, one of the chiefs of the Shinsengumi, he bowed. The man with glasses next to him bowed as well. Hijikata just looked at her before bowing a bit himself. To my right is Vice Commander Toshizo Hijikata, and to my left, Vice Commander Keisuke Sanan. Sanan raised his head and smiled at Haruka. It's a pleasure to meet you, Shinomi-kun. Haruka gave a small smile in return.
It's also a pleasure to meet you too.
Then she glanced over at the slender man and the young man.
And you too?
The slender man spoke first. I am Nishiki Nimi, Vice Commander for Serizawa-sensei. I must say you have made quite a name for yourself considering your circumstances. She just stared at him.
What would those circumstances be?
Now Nimi looked nervous. Well, you worked for the Shogun from such a young age, no? You must have had some trouble with the older officials in your field. Haruka disregarded Nimi's words for now and looked at the young man.
And you? Me?
Introduce yourself, mutt.
I'm Ryunosuke Ibuki. I'm, not really a part of them.
Ibuki's hand was then hit by Serizawa's metal fan.
Ow!
Enough! She doesn't need to know that much about you. Hijikata noticed Haruka's hands gripped her hakama a bit. So, why did they send the pretty Okizume here to the Shinsengumi? Haruka ignored his comments about her.
Well, that was Serizawa.
Okay, I saw that it was... So, why did they send the pretty Okizume here to the Shinsengumi? Haruka ignored his last comments about her.
I'm here to investigate the disappearance of Kodo Yukimura. And the last I heard, he was working with the Shinsengumi. Naturally, I expect you to cooperate with me.
Cooperate? More like they just sent us a babysitter. Isn't that what you really mean? Haruka just raised an eyebrow.
If you're going to be no help to me at all, then just leave. The Shinsengumi has two chiefs for a reason, no?
I tried clicking my tongue, but it didn't come through, so Serizawa clicked his tongue. And you can't do this work on your own? I thought you worked alone. Or all those rumors about you just made up? She just gave him a cold stare.
You can test my patience all you like, but do not forget you were given a second chance. I'm sure being imprisoned again isn't something you'd like, right?
Everyone's eyes except for Serizawa's widened. Nimi, Hijikata, and Ibuki thought she was talking crazy like that. Sanan was impressed, and Kodo was just surprised at the threat in general. Serizawa gritted his teeth at her. You really know just what to say, don't you? I see how you've made your mark. He then got up, Nimi following his lead, then started to head out of the room. Kondo-kun, you deal with the pretty Okuzume. She and I have no reason to communicate any further. Haruka smiled as he walked past her.
Good. It seems you can keep your temper in check. Do more of that.
That pissed off Serizawa more as he stomped off, Nimi trailing behind him, sliding the door closed. Ibuki just blinked a couple of times before falling to his knees and sitting down.
Hey, are you crazy? Threatening Serizawa-san like that?
She just looked over at Ibuki.
Crazy.
Yes, crazy. Did that title of yours made you think you're invincible? Haruka just blinked.
No, I just have better connections than he has.
Still, you intended for him to stay out of this, didn't you? Haruka smiled.
I have no idea what you mean, Sanan-san.
Okay, I feel like this is called for just for that.
Fuck you up there.
It was, let's be fair.
Yes.
She then looked at Kondo.
I believe I said to get rid of him back in Osaka, did I not?
Yes, well, Haruka just gave him a small smile.
I'll give you another chance, but just be careful.
Shimu yawned and finally laid down on the floor from his sitting position next to Haruka. She looked over and patted his back.
Seems the air has cleared a little bit. Shall we continue?
Yes. Well, what do you need to know?
When was the last time you saw Kodo-san? It must have been at least 2 weeks ago. I remember him coming here to see Nimi.
Haruka looked a bit surprised.
2 weeks? No, never mind that. There's a better question I should have asked first.
She looked at the 3 men in front of her.
Exactly how many people know about the Water of Life?
There's 14 people involved. Haruka's eyes twitched.
Did you say 14?
Maybe this is better explained when we have the others around. Shinomiya-kun must be tired. She was still in disbelief and muttering to herself.
14? How the hell did it get to 14 people involved in this mess?
Are you okay, Shinomiya-kun?
Huh?
She snapped out of her thoughts.
Yes, I'm fine. I think it really might be better if we discussed it with the rest of them together, so I don't have to repeat myself. Assuming this excludes Serizawa and Nimi. You don't like them, do you? I've dealt with enough people to know when they will be a pain in things.
She then started to get up.
I assume this meeting will happen tomorrow?
Oh, yes, Kondo said as he got up as well. Shinomiya-kun, do you currently have a place to stay?
Well, I was going to go get a room at an inn.
Hijikata, let's see. No, Kodo just smiled at her. Nonsense. I'm sure we have a spare room for you. It would make your work much easier if you were closer to it, right? Hijikata looked surprised and then looked at Kondo a bit mad, a bit angrily. Hey, Kondo-san, what exactly do you think you're doing? I'm just offering her up some hospitality. She is a guest after all, Toshi. And you think having a woman here is a great idea, especially with Serizawa-san around? Hijikata-kun. He looked over at Sanan-san, who just stood up, walking over to Kondo. I believe Shinomiya-kun can defend herself enough. Though, if the men do make trouble for her, the code is there for these problems, aren't they? He had the small but sinister smile on his face. Okay.
You goddamn snake!
Worth it.
Yeah. Hijikata just sighed. Fine. Haruka, though, had this face of discomfort.
Is it really okay? Don't you need the space?
Kondo's just nodded. Like I said, you are a guest during your investigation. Sparing one room for you and Shimu is fine. Haruka looked at the 3 men and her arms crossed with a look of uncertainty.
If that's really okay, I Suppose I can't turn down the offer.
Kondo looked overjoyed at his acceptance. Oh, just like whenever he became Santa. Wonderful! Then let me show you around. He then led the way while putting a hand on her upper back, guiding her along. Hijikata, Sanan, and Ibuki saw Haruka's face of overwhelmment as she was dragged off. Shimu barked and followed his master. My, it seems our Okuzume isn't used to kindness like that. That or he's too generous. Ibuki walked over and saw the two figures walked away. He saw the snowflake crest on Haruka's kimono and looked over at Hijikata and Sanan.
She has a snowflake crest. I've never seen that before. Is she really that important?
Hijikata raised an eyebrow. Snowflake? Interesting. I was wondering if maybe she was from a samurai family in her position. He smiled. But for now, let's see what happens. Meanwhile, Haruka was walking alongside Kondo, looking around a bit. It was a bit of an awkward, silent walk until Kondo spoke up. I'm sorry if this is a bit personal, but are you the same Shinomi-kun who came to Shie Hall years ago as a little girl? Haruka stopped in her tracks and looked at him.
I am. Then you really are Kondo-san?
See. Kondo had that wonderful look, joyful look on his face. Yes! To think we would meet like this again. I can't believe it. And you have been doing well for yourself as well, working for the Shogun. Haruka blinked, her mind still overstimulated.
I'm sorry, every time you laugh as Kondo, I just feel happy. It feels a fucking void.
Yeah.
Yes. I suppose it is a good thing.
She then shook her head to regain herself.
But then there's you, right? You no longer run the Shie, but a leader of the Shinsengumi serving the Shogun as well. My position is nothing special.
He gently put a hand on her shoulder. But it is. You must have worked hard for the position you're in now, right?
Well, actually, I only gained this position when my father died.
Oh!
I'm just in it due to being the leader of my clan. Nothing really special about it.
Shinomi-kun. She gave him a small smile.
Don't feel bad about it, Kondo-san. Since the day I met you, I was already training for this position. I just didn't expect it to happen when I was 15.
He patted her shoulder. I'm sure your father's proud of you. I would be too if you were my daughter. She was surprised at what he said, but Haruka ended up giving him a warm smile. The wall comes down again.
Thank you, Kondo-san.
Drink!
Huh?
Ugh. Kondo put his hand, nodded his head, and looked where they stopped. Seems we stopped in the right place. Haruka turned around and saw the room was wide open. This is the room you will stay in while you work. I hope it's enough. Shimu quickly ran into the room and stopped in the middle to look around. He barked happily. Haruka gave a small laugh.
It's enough.
She looked back at Kondo.
Thank you, Kondo-san.
What's more, drink.
Yum.
No need to thank me. I'll bring you and Shimu some food later. For now, just rest. Tomorrow, you'll meet the rest of us.
Woohoo!
Tomorrow morning. The room was filled with people who knew about the water of life.
What was that?
It's more like a tomorrow morning.
I tried to do that. Tomorrow morning. I don't know. It's the next
good.
day. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, that
The
was pretty
next day. The common room was filled with people who knew about the water of life. They were a bit restless about suddenly being summoned there early in the morning. Ibuki sat in on the meeting as he knew too much. Luckily, Serizawa left that morning so he could take part. He looked around the room of the men he got to know in the last few months. So what? The Aizu really sent someone to work on finding Kodo? The one with green eyes asked. The one with the hand towel tied around his head spoke next. Why did they even send someone? We can handle this on our own. They are more informed about this than we are. So let's just help them as much as we can. After all, we are responsible for letting it out here the last time. Kondo looked at the door. It's alright for you to come in now. The door opened slowly. However, the first thing that ran in was small. Shimu had gotten excited and ran into the middle of the room. He looked around, barking happily.
I just needed that in my life.
Woof, woof.
Oh, sorry.
Said he gets.
He gets excited sometimes.
They all looked to the door and saw Haruka step inside. She bowed to all of them.
I am Haruka Shinomi, the Okuzume Aizu sent to investigate Kodo's disappearance.
See. When she stopped bowing, the man with green eyes spoke up. So it really is you. Haruka looked at him for a second before her eyes widened.
No way.
He grinned and waved at her. Long time no see, Haruka.
Soji?
Haruka was shocked as she heard Kondo laugh behind her cheerfully. Ha! Seems there was more than just us reuniting, Shinobi-kun. Haruka just looked over at him.
You damn well knew the entire time he was here and didn't tell me?
She then paid her attention back to the other man.
Then you're really...
Soji Okita, captain of the 1st Division. He grinned.
That's you, alright. That grin and everything.
Oh, don't give me that. Lighten up. Hijikata just cleared his throat as Haruka sat down. Then Soji introduced himself. The rest of you should too. The next person who spoke looked stoic. I am Hajime Saito, captain of the 3rd Division. Next was the man with the hand towel. He pointed himself with his thumb. I'm Senpachi Nagakura, captain of the 2nd Division. Nice to see you again since that day in Osaka.
Sorry if I came off too strong back
Great.
there.
He grinned. Don't worry about it, Haruka. It was actually really cool. Hey, Shin, quit flirting with her, said a young man. Flirting? Who the hell said I was flirting, Heisuke? I am! The two of them started to go at each other, and another man with tall red hair and a low ponytail pushed them away from each other. Come on now, quit it for now, you two. Really isn't a great impression when you're meeting a lady for the first time, is it? The two who were fighting just turned to each other with their arms crossed. The man who stopped them just chuckled. Sorry about them. I'm Sanosuke Harada, captain of the 10th Division. Let's see. Shimu came over to the young man and sniffed his hand. Whoa! He looked stunned for a minute before patting his head. I'm Heisuke Toto, captain of the 8th Division. Your dog is really friendly. She smiled a bit.
He's just making sure you're a friend.
An older gentleman spoke up. Well then, you've trained a bright dog. I'm Genzaburo Inoue, captain of the 6th Division. Haruka turned her head when she noticed 2 men left. The stoic one bowed slightly. I am Susumu Yamazaki. The taller, bulkier one spoke next. And I'm Kai Shimada. Both of us are part of the Watch. She looked over at Kondo.
The Watch?
They gather information on not just the enemy, but even our own men for traitors or spies. It's come in handy a couple of times.
I see.
Haruka crossed her arms a bit and closed her eyes.
If introductions are done, then I have one thing to ask.
What would that be? When she opened her eyes, they were as cold as ice.
How did this end up with 14 people involved? Wasn't this supposed to be a small thing?
Everyone in the common room froze. Of course, that was something she'd ask. They all looked up at each other before Hijikata spoke up. We found out Nimi was experimenting on prisoners in secret when one of them escaped.
That doesn't explain the obscene amount of people here.
You don't know anything about them, do you?
Then explain to me, because all I know right now is that Kodo has disappeared and this has spread too far.
Yes, those things are something else, Haruka. They basically lose their minds after they drink that stuff. Sure, they can heal and super strong and fast afterwards, but they are tough to kill when you need them to be dead. Seriously? When one escaped, we were surprised by it. It took just about all of us to take it down.
So it overwhelmed you? Is that why there's this many people?
She asked Kondo while looking at him. He nodded his head and Haruka sighed.
Fine, okay. Just don't let this get any further.
Her eyes then landed on Ibuki.
Ibuki-kun, you said you saw him last about 2 weeks ago?
He flinched when he was called upon.
Oh, yeah, but that's pretty much it. Sorry. Really?
She glanced at the others.
Anything from any of you?
They all shook their heads.
Great, so I'm running on very little information.
I don't know how much it'll help, but you can look at his clinic.
His clinic?
It had burned down, along with most of his notes and belongings. We found what we could, but maybe you can find something we missed? Haruka then thought for a moment and crossed her arms.
That might be a good idea.
See, you're not completely without any lead.
You're not making this any
Ah.
easier, Soji.
She looked at him deadpanned.
Alright, another question then. Who's in charge of the Water of Life experiment?
Nimi-san is in charge of it.
Nimi?
She looked a bit uneasy.
Wait, you're still letting him handle it after the one thing got out?
We called them Furies. And it's not like he's doing it alone. I also share responsibility with the serum after the event. She just shook her head.
Anything else I should know?
Kondo shook his head. At the moment, this is everything.
If that's the case, let me look into things for a little while. Just keep Nimi in check. I sense that man could be up to something regardless of him being watched or not.
Haruka stood up.
I'm going to go look at the remains of the clinic. Go on with your day.
She started to go out the door with Shimu quickly following her, but Okita stood up. Hey, hold on. You don't know where it is, do you? I can take you there. She blinked.
Sure, Soji.
Okita caught up with her, and they left the common room together. The room got quiet for a little while as the room became a bit calmer. Is it really okay not to tell her about the other Fury that killed Sakai? I'm not sure what... I'm sure she already sees us in a negative light. Besides, it's best she doesn't know how worse this really is. But won't she be mad when she finds out? It won't come to that. So long as we keep our mouths shut. They all looked at each other and nodded their heads in agreement. Except for Ibuki. He just looked at the ground, uncertain about his decision.
Who cares if they look like fools? She needs to know the truth.
A few days later.
God damn it! The playlist did the thing again.
A few days later.
Haruka was sitting outside a tea shop at a table. There was a game of Go in front of her. Game of Go, okay. Shimu was laying at her feet. She placed the piece down and looked at her opponent.
So, how have you been, Kimi?
A graceful hand picked up a Go piece and held it up while looking at the board. She had long black hair tied up in a bun, a purple floral kimono, dark pink lip makeup on her lips, and a mole under them. She then gently placed her piece down.
Things could be better.
She glanced up at Haruka.
It has been a long time since you visited Kyoto. I also heard you're working with the Shinsengumi.
Let's see. Haruka saw where she placed her piece and tilted her head.
It's not like I can pick and choose my assignments. Besides, this one is different. Oh, how different?
Haruka glanced up at the woman, her hand about to place her next piece.
One of our own is missing, Kimikiku.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Kimikiku glanced back at the board where Haruka's hand was placing her piece.
That is serious. I suppose you want some information.
Let's see. Haruka smiled.
Maybe I just want to catch up with an old friend.
Sir?
Really?
She leaned in a bit closer to whisper.
Have you noticed we're being watched?
Haruka turned her head to the side to hear her.
I know. Play it off.
They both pulled away, laughing a bit loudly.
Oh, Kimi, I'm not ready for that kind of thing yet.
Kimikiku smiled.
But he really is sweet. Won't you give him a chance? Maybe when I'm older and done with this job.
Let's see. From a nearby shop, Hijikata was watching them. He had been on his rounds when he spotted them, told his men to take a break while he watched discreetly. At least he thought it was discreetly. To him, they were just old friends catching up with each other. Haruka moves from place to place, so who knows when the last time she was in Kyo. They're playing a game together, he told himself. Nothing more than friends. He entered the shop he was at just to make sure things were fine or if assistance was needed. Ibuki was nearby when he saw Hijikata enter the store, and he walked over to Haruka.
Shinomi-san, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I need to talk to you.
Let's see. Haruka and Kimikiku looked up at him.
Oh? Is this young man your page?
Ibuki looked surprised.
Huh?
Haruka just grinned and got up.
Kimi, you know I work alone. Oh, and tell Sun I said hi.
She put some money on the table and looked at Ibuki.
Come on, let's head back to Yagi. You can tell me on the way there. Right.
She, Ibuki, and Shimu started to walk in the direction of Yagi in silence for a while. Ibuki just felt anxious about how quiet they were. Haruka didn't look a bit unnerved.
Ibuki-kun? Yes? What did you want to tell me?
He looked down, watching Shimu walk in front of him.
That fury that got out, it wasn't the only time. Hmm? I mean, another fury had gone out. It got out and it killed one woman and one of our own and his lover.
Haruka kept walking, showing no emotion at all the information.
I know. Huh? You know? I know that, and that, I know that, and that you all were hiding something. I don't blame you thinking I might think you're all incompetent. I do, to a degree. But Serizawa already caused enough problems for you without me adding more on top of that.
Ibuki blinked in surprise before calming down a bit.
Man, you really do know about things quickly. Is that what happens when you work for the Shogun? No, it comes from training to be a leader. A leader?
See. Haruka smiled a little at Ibuki.
I'm not just an Okuzume. I'm also the leader of my clan back in Ezo. I have to be aware of things or else I might end up losing my head.
Quite literally, in fact.
Well, it's more than what I can do. I'm sure there's lots you can do. You just haven't found it yet.
Not found it yet. Ibuki looked at her for a second before looking back at Shimu.
I can't be a warrior like everyone else can. I don't want to be anyway.
Haruka glanced his way.
Feel like sharing? I was born into a samurai family, a low-ranking vessel that serves for 1 year. But my dad decided to rake up debt and ended up selling his status to someone to fix the debt. In the end, he died in an accident and left Mom and I with a huge debt. Sorry about that. I'm kind of over it. But Mom kept pushing me for years about how to act like a samurai, to be a samurai. She'd yell at me when I do stuff like chop firewood for people for money, because it just wasn't what a samurai does. And I was just a kid, so I ran.
Yeah, as he said, I was born into a samurai family. Hana ended up getting a crit.
Oh my god!
And she is in her base class. She is currently a samurai, not a sword master
my
yet.
God.
So that's great.
Ibuki, what did you do?
They walked in silence again as the day turned into afternoon. Ibuki kept looking at Shimu, who took a look at Ibuki as they walked.
Why did you pick Shimu to travel with you?
Eh.
Well, if I traveled alone, I'd probably go insane.
He gave a small chuckle.
Pretty sure you already are.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Was that it? It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
The other reason is, Shimu is actually from a generation of dogs that live with my clan. I decided it was time one travel with a clan leader again. Plus, he has better senses than a human. Even a dog has a legacy.
Woof woof.
He's just happy to travel, really. Legacy and all that means nothing to him.
Ibuki gave a small smile.
No human worries for you, Shimu.
Woof.
Shimu barked again in agreement. How the fuck did you know that, sir? When they got closer to the entrance of Yagi, they saw Harada come out.
Something wrong, Harada?
You two seen Nimi around? Haruka shook her head.
Not since I've had out this morning. Yeah, same for me too.
Harada looked frustrated. Damn it!
What
Haruka
happened?
stepped forward.
What happened?
Nimi left. I mean left with everything on the water of life.
He what?
Oh. Okay. Something to do with gamer subs.
Oh.
There is a the Russian Badger Swamp Assassin now available.
And I think we got a bot in the chat.
Do we? Oh, yes we do. Same fucking message too.
Alright.
I can do it. Ah. Or you did it.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
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 Womp
Where
womp
were
womp.
we?
Yeah!
Oh my god.
Alright, there we go.
Hmm?
Anyways.
Where were we?
I know! But
Uh.
Nimi can be slippery when he needs to be. Haruka gave a heavy sigh.
We're having a meeting with everyone but Serizawa in the common room. Go get everyone.
Right. He turned back to go tell everyone. Ibuki then looked at Haruka.
What does this mean? Means someone is going to probably end up dead.
A few days later. They had all found out a fury was on the loose in Kyo. Their search to find it for nights got nowhere until one morning it showed up dead on the bank of the Kamo. It was not one of their own, but a random stranger. Nimi had been doing experiments while on the run, but they still had no clue where he could be. Haruka held her head on her desk as Shimu laid on her lap.
The damn rat is still on the loose. No trace of him at all. And worse, he's probably exposing the water of life in some way and endangering more people than necessary.
She sighed. Ooh, excuse me. She sighed heavily.
Why did I have to joke like that, Dakota? Now there's just a mess.
Alright. Just a mess. That's when she heard her door slid open suddenly. She looked at the figure in the doorway. Shota.
Shut
Oh. Okay. Haruka ne. It was Shota. He was wearing dark clothing reminiscent of that of a ninja with a sword at his side. Bad news!
Shota? What's wrong?
He stepped into her room and closed the door as she stood up. They found Nimi.
What?
They found him, and Hijikata, Okita, Saito, and Yamazaki all went after him.
Damn it!
She grabbed her swords and tied them to her hip with her sash.
Shota, lead me.
Right. As they ran out the door with Shimu right behind them. They ran out of Yagi onto the streets of Kyo. Haruka followed Shota as he led her to where Nimi was suspected to be. Before they turned fully into a corner, they saw Yamazaki at the back of a restaurant. They both hid back into the corner and watched.
Shota, get behind him. If you won't tell me, you'll be convincing enough.
Got it. Shota jumped up to the roofs above as Haruka headed towards Yamazaki. He heard her footsteps and saw her walking to him calmly. This unnerved him as he knew what was going on inside.
Yamazaki, what are you doing out here? Did you get lost?
I may have. Kyo is large and as it is and a bit disorienting at night.
Is that so? I was out on a stroll and saw you. I can lead you back to Yagi if you want.
That will be necessary. I can find my way there.
Fine, if you're that insistent on it.
She turned around, about to leave, when she looked back at him.
By the way, you haven't seen Hijikata-san, Saito-san, or Soji, have you?
He tried not to react to her question. No, I don't think I... His eyes widened when he felt something sharp against his back. Took a glance behind him as discreetly as he could. I suggest answering truthfully, said the voice behind him. I am assuming that is Shota.
You're correct.
Thank you, Fade.
Thank you, Fade. More drink.
Okay, so we wanted to let you know that we have reviewed your safety report and determined that a violation of our TOS and community guidelines occurred.
What?
As a result, enforcement action has been taken.
What?
What?
About that bot.
Oh. Okay.
Wait, the bot was a
Okay.
person?
Yeah. Or no, it wasn't a person, but yeah.
Eh?
It was a bot, but yeah, they were just saying, "Oh yeah, we got your report about that bot. We already took care of it."
Good.
And it was from the bot?
Yeah, the one that said cheap viewers on something.
Blank. Probably some link.
Yeah,
At
fine.
least
If
some-
you, I suggest answering truthfully, said the voice behind him. Yamazaki looked back at Haruka. He realized Haruka was never really alone on her travels. Someone was always looking at her from a distance, kind of like with Seth and let's see, Mitsu. I don't. Haruka stared at him.
Please don't take me for a fool. You grew up in Osaka. Kyo was a sort of hunting ground for you. And as the Watch's leader, you should know Kyoto inside and out.
She leaned in closer and
Now tell me the truth.
and leaned into him. Okay. Yamazaki let out a breath he was holding. Okay. We found out Nimi was using the name Iori Tanaka, and I tracked him down to this tea house tonight. He was been trying to sell the water of life to some imperialist. Vice Commander thought it would be wise to take care of this before things got out of hand quickly got out of hand. When he was done, the sharp object was removed from his back, and the person walked over to Haruka, nodding his head, confirming the information was correct.
Thank you, Yamazaki.
Frank. Haruka looked over at Shota next to her.
in the middle of drinking.
Sorry.
Shota, stay here and watch him. You too, Shimu. I got business inside.
Alright. There we go. Oh, these look good!
Eh?
Hang on, let me just go ahead and...
He has found something, and I don't know what.
It's on Twitter.
Again, he has found something, and I don't know what.
Let me just post it here. These look so good. There's more to it than this, but it's Nefany and Sakura.
Oh.
Look at them!
Nice.
They look so good together.
Oh, that's the actual artist, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Hold on.
It was thanks to the Green Scorpion I saw this because he retweeted it.
Ah.
Anyways, let's see. Haruka looked over at Shota next to her.
Oh, I read that already.
Uh,
I'll do it again.
Shota, stay here and watch him. You too, Shima. I got business inside.
Don't worry, Haruka. I got it. Shota said through a scarf. Haruka entered the tea house and made her way to find the three that decided to take action themselves. Didn't take that long as she found broken shoji doors and the long stench of metal in the air. The long stench of metal in the air. She just walked calmly until she found them. 2 Imperialists dead, and Nimi as well, but with white hair.
Had fun?
The 3 men's eyes widened as they turned quickly around to see her there. Shinomi, Hijikata managed to say. She was staring at all 3 of them with cold, narrowing eyes. The temperature of the room dropped a little bit colder. Let's go, dirty brother killer.
The fuck?
That's from, it's an Undertale thing that was based off of a song from Steven Universe.
Oh.
It's called, let's see.
Yeah, it's an Undertale audio.
I can't remember it off the top of my head, but let's see. They had been found out, and now they made an official mad. Okita tried to pull off a smile. Haruka, see, we was just...
No. No excuses. You blatantly went behind my back. You knew where Nimi was. You didn't inform anyone else. Not Kondo-san, not the other captains, not even me. If I didn't think you incompetent before, I do now.
But...
No, damn it! I only found out about it because I have my own people watching you idiots. Also, you can do this by yourself, but you can't take care of Serizawa? What the hell is wrong with you? And now you have this mess to clean up.
Haruka turned to leave.
No more secrets. Any information goes to me. Understand? This shit happens again, and I will do something extreme like disbanding the Shinsengumi entirely.
Go. She then walked away back outside. The 3 men let go of breath they were holding. Hijikata just grit his teeth in frustration. Okita looked over at him. She can't really do that, can she? I don't know what she can do, but if the Aizu trust her that much, she works directly under the Shogun. He balled his hand into a fist and punched the ground. Damn it! Saito just watched Haruka leave. Okita came over to him and watched her leave too. Then it's clear we can't keep things from her. We can't make this mistake again. No way I'm gonna let her break us up just like that. He looked down and grabbed his sword. This has been Kondo-san's dream. Hijikata stood up. We won't give up. We can't.
Hello, friends. It is I.
Okay.
Hi. Let's see. Oh,
What are we doing?
it's art, but it's also story time too.
Yeah.
This is just a lesson. Let's take care of Nimi and the other 2. We can't let anyone else have a closer look at the scene. Haruka back outside and saw the three still waiting there.
Shota, back to work. Yamazaki, go to them. I'm leaving. Let's go, Shimu.
He followed Haruka out of the alley. Shota looked over at Yamazaki. Sorry I had to force you. Yamazaki looked surprised. You were just doing what she told you to, right? Why are you apologizing? Not everyone has to be cold when doing stuff like this. Plus, I'm sure we both know you wouldn't have told her the truth without some pressure. Shota said as he smiled with his eyes closed. Well, if you need me, I'll be around somewhere. Shota then jumped back up to the roof and ran off as Yamazaki watched him leave. In Kondo's room, Haruka was staring down at Kondo, Hijikata, and Sanan as she sat across from him. Hijikata was staring right back at her. It had been quiet for several minutes already. Haruka just crossed her arms.
We are dealing with Serizawa.
What?
You've had more than enough chances. I told you in Osaka. Aizu told you twice. I gave you one more chance, and now I've had enough of that man. Not only that, but Mimi worked under him as well and caused that mess in Yamao.
What do you expect us to do? Exactly. He won't back down at all.
The only option is to kill him.
You can't be serious, Shinomi-kun. We could try...
Talking has not worked. This man has set fire to buildings, demanded Geisha's hair be cut off, accepted the water of life experience, and one of his men caused chaos. There is no other choice in this matter. He dies.
The room became silent again. Finally, Sanan spoke a word. Shinomi-kun is right.
I'm gonna go watch some videos.
Okay. Sanan-kun, you think this is the right choice too? He nodded his head. We can move forward this way. Much less on bad reputation.
Bad reputation can always be fixed, but any worse than that and they might run you all out of the city.
Hijikata looked ticked off. And what exactly makes you say that?
The people of Kyo already don't like the Shinsengumi. They would like a reason to toss you out.
And killing Serizawa's the only answer to you?
I'd be happy to offer you another suggestion.
She shrugged.
I'd be happy if you offer another suggestion, Hijikata-san. But if there is none, then we have no other choice.
He gritted his teeth. It's okay, Toshi. Kondo-san, I know that we have come to a standstill with Serizawa. We will deal with him the way you want to, Shinobi-kun. She then looked at him.
Then let's work together on a plan.
Chapter 3.
Oh boy.
Swan Song for the Goose. September 18th, 1863. Rain was pouring down on Kyo that night. Inside of a restaurant was Haruka along with a few others. Namely, Nagakura, Heisuke, Ibuki, and Saito. There was a lot of food and sake. In fact, Nagakura and Heisuke already started digging into it.
Aren't the others coming?
Haruka took a sip of her tea, as I took a drink myself.
I tried asking them, but they declined.
Where's my
I
water?
believe they didn't want to exert your generosity too much. Exert it? This is like the nicest thing anyone's done for us. That would be Haruka.
Yes, I know. I was just trying to get my water bottle.
Oh,
It was attached to my backpack so that it doesn't fall.
I might have to look into something like that with my shakers.
Yes.
But I know exactly what I'm ordering on Tuesday.
What?
The Russian Badger stuff.
Oh. That makes more sense.
Anyways, yes.
Yes, well, I wanted to apologize for being too forthcoming at Yamao.
She sighed.
I lost my composure, so I thought maybe some food and sake would be enough.
Nagakura grinned. I'd say it's enough, but can we really have as much as we want? She nodded.
Sure, I can cover it easily.
Heisuke's eyes were filled with joy. What? Thanks, son! Haruka and Saito looked surprised and looked at each other for a second as they were seated next to each other.
What did you call me?
Heisuke's eyes widened when he realized his words. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I just... You kind of act like a mom to us. She blinked.
I do?
Nagakura nodded his head. Yeah, you're qualified. But I feel like I listen to you more, maybe because you chastise us like a mom would her kids. She looked between Nagakura and Heisuke and took a bite of fish.
I don't mind if you call me that.
Wait, really?
Ibuki said, confused.
If it makes you feel more comfortable, then fine.
Heisuke's face lit up again. I thought it is! He had a big grin on his face, and Haruka was reminded of someone. She was lost a bit in her thoughts as she continued to eat. Nagakura, Heisuke, and Ibuki continued to be loud and enjoy themselves. Saito, however, saw how quiet Haruka was, and got a bit closer to check in on her. Are you feeling ill? Haruka snapped out of her thoughts and turned to look at him.
Oh, no, I just had some memories from years ago come back.
Were they good memories? She chuckled.
More like bittersweet.
Bittersweet memories can be the best ones, you know. All five of them turned... bittersweet memories can be the best ones, you know. All five of them turned to the voice who just spoke, and it was Kondo. He had entered the room and closed the door.
Decided to join us after all?
He sat down near them. I decided it was a bit rude to decline your offer, Shinomi-kun.
You were alright to decline. Just because I'm some official doesn't mean you have to take everything I say to heart. Didn't we just say you were really scary?
Haruka just shrugged and took a sip of her tea again.
When I want to be.
So, bittersweet memories. Anything you'd like to share about them? Haruka set her cup down and just sat there looking down at it.
Seeing Heisuke overjoyed just reminded me of my younger brother.
I do? Haruka nodded her head.
Been a while since I've seen him. Guess I just miss him.
Why don't you go back on the video?
God damn it.
Haruka froze for a moment before looking up at him with a small smile.
I'm too busy, I'm afraid. Always on the move. It's been that way in my family for years. You said you were the leader, right?
Ibuki said while eating some rice.
Yeah. Everyone before me has done the same job I'm doing since the Tokugawa Shogun began. It's a sort of treaty that doesn't just keep my clan safe, but all of Ezo as well.
Nagakura looked at her, his face a bit worried. Isn't that a lot for one person? I mean, that's a whole island, isn't it?
Sure it is, but there hasn't been much trouble since we're so isolated.
I imagine winter over there is harsh.
Maybe for you guys, but it's actually very beautiful.
Saito looked over at Haruka. I'd like to see that one day myself. Me too! It would be cold, though. Yeah, but imagine how many snowball fights we could have. Oh, you got a point there, Heisuke. Ibuki just blinked, not really getting it.
Snowball fights? Really? Sure you two aren't kids?
Come on, Ryunosuke, doesn't that sound like fun?
Sounds more like I'd be pelted with them if I joined you guys.
Heisuke's eyes widened. What? No way, I'd play fair and square. Then he had a deadpan look on his face. Shin, on the other hand? What was that? What was that, Heisuke? Saito just sipped his tea as Nagakura and Heisuke fought. They even dragged Ibuki into it. Haruka just went over to Kondo and poured him some sake. They made eye contact, knowing they just had to wait a bit longer for things to finally be over with. Shota laid down on the roof of the building, looking down at the Maekawa residence Serizawa stayed in. Is this man ever going to bed or what? Any longer, they would lose their chance. Then took a glance at the sky, and I'm out here in the rain. At least this will just be a minor cold. Shota has been a bit uneasy since last night. He had a dream that involved something monstrous with red eyes. Well, that doesn't mean anything. Unfortunately, it does. He looked back down at the building and saw the light go out. Oh, this is their chance. After 30 minutes, Shota saw Harada signal to the others. Soon, Hijikata, Okita, Sanan, and Jin got into their positions as Harada kept looking out. He also noticed Yamazaki was nearby as well. Is he keeping guard too? Shota snapped his head when he heard loud yelling. He leaned over the roof to get a bit a closer look. His eyes widened when he saw there was blood in the room already. What happened in there? He quickly got up and jumped to a different rooftop and found a better spot without being noticed. He saw a woman with blonde hair dead in Serizawa's futon. What the hell? Wait, that's the mistress, isn't it? Why did he kill her? Because it's his end? He then heard fighting. Metal against metal. Struggling sound came from the room. Shota leaned just a bit closer to see. At that moment, he saw Hijikata cut into one of Serizawa's arms. Oh, he got him! However, he saw Serizawa talking, reaching into his kimono, and a glint caught his eye. No, he wouldn't! He saw him drink something as the rain poured down even harder. Even with the loud rain, you could hear groans and a final roar as his hair turned white and his eyes red. Serizawa turned into a fury. And then there was the frenzy. Serizawa knocking Okita, Sanan, and Inoue into the walls with loud crashing noises. It was enough to gain the attention of Harada and Yamazaki as they ran into the small court. The hell? Harada said as they saw Hijikata fighting against Serizawa. Is that... Damn it, hold on! Hang on! Harada quickly ran to help while Yamazaki stood there. He didn't know what to do and didn't carry a sword at the moment. Then he sensed something. He looked around a bit before looking up at the spot Shota was in. Get us back up! Get us back up! There we go. Shota's eyes widened. He sensed me. He weighed his options for a second before jumping up onto the rooftop. Thank you, Fade.
Also, goodbye, Fade.
Mm-hmm. Yamazaki looked relieved when he saw Shota's shadow leave the spot he was looking at. Gonna have to get Haruka in there. I had no choice. Serizawa may lose himself if they don't take care of him. Back at the restaurant, things were calm. Nakakura standing up, stretching. I think we had enough here tonight. Let's escape. He yawned. Yeah. Plus, we got rounds in the morning. Thanks again, Kasan. Ibuki stood up.
I'm just full, so I don't think I can eat anymore. Are you guys sure? Because I can cover everything.
She said before taking a glance at Saito. I'd like to eat more, but there's always next time, right? He smiled at Haruka. Then the three of them started to walk out. Saito spoke up. I can't let you three leave. The three men stood up. Let's see. The three men stood up, stopped, and looked confused. Hajime-kun? What's going on? Nakakura had this look on his face as that he figured out something was happening when he looked back at them. You can't leave. Not yet. Saito looked at them, his eyes narrowed and serious. Haruka looked between all three of them, and Kondo just sat there quietly. Nakakura turned to fully face them. There's more to everyone than just decline. There's more to everyone just declining your offer, isn't it, Haruka?
Well...
What is it? Hey, shit! Wait a second. Let Kasan talk. He looked confused at him, nervous, and a bit upset. Haruka was about to say something when she sensed something behind the shoji door that led outside. Haruka ni?
Shota?
He opened the door and entered. absolutely soaking wet. Everyone was tense in the room. Trouble. Serizawa, he turned into a fury.
He what?
I don't know why he had it, but the others are barely hanging on. Wait, you guys were carrying Serizawa while we were here?
That doesn't matter right now.
Oh yes, it does.
Look, if Serizawa is a fury, then we have no choice right now.
Why can't we have a choice?
Because he...
If Haruka stopped herself when she saw Ibuki bolt off past Shota.
Ibuki-kun!
Haruka ran after him. Ryunosuke! He was right behind her along with Shota. Nagakura ran after him and Saito went after Nagakura. Kondo remained there in the empty room. I thought this would go smoothly, but he's putting up one last stand. He looked up at the rain before through the open door. Careful. Ibuki ran as fast as he could through the rain to get back to Yagi. Behind him, he could hear Haruka and Heisuke calling for him. When he ran into the courtyard, he was held back by Yamazaki as he saw Serizawa knocked Haruka away by Hijikata.
Hey! Stop it! Don't kill him!
Ibuki! Ibuki, we can't! Ibuki tried to stand up as he glanced... Or Haruka tried to stand up as he glanced at Ibuki. Baka, get out of here! Ibuki struggled against Yamazaki to break free from his grip.
No, you don't have to kill him! Serizawa-san's ill, he...
It doesn't matter! You've seen what he's done! It can't go on like this! Something has to give! Something gotta give.
God damn it.
Ibuki stood there frozen at the scene. Was there even anything he could do? That's when Hijikata was knocked down as well, leaving Serizawa to make his way to Ibuki. He looked more terrified than he's ever felt in his life, even almost dying before Serizawa found his way to him. Felt his way. He could run, but his feet are frozen in place. Serizawa managed to toss Yamazaki to the ground before reaching Ibuki. His eyes closed shut.
Move!
Move! Oh.
Move!
Ibuki was suddenly pushed. Isn't that supposed to be Serizawa saying that?
Nope.
As he was suddenly pushed out of the way, but okay. He landed on with a hard thud as he looked back at what happened. Serizawa's grip was Haruka, being lifted off the ground by her kimono.
And that's why.
Oh. Nasan! Haruka ni! Ibuki saw Heisuke and Shota by the entrance. His eyes then flew back to Haruka, who was struggling to try and get him to let her go. That the pretty Okuzune came to save him what? How noble of you.
Noble? I just didn't think you should try and hurt an innocent kid.
She gasped as Serizawa held tighter. That's when Gen, Sana, and Nokito regained consciousness and saw what happened. Shinomi-san! Shinomi-kun! Haruka! Hear that? They're calling for you. Worried about a little Okuzume? Serizawa's grip got tighter. But I know you ordered this, didn't you? She smirked just a little.
Doesn't take a genius to figure that out. You're nothing but trouble, you know.
And you were sent to clean up that trouble, right? They just stared at each other. At the entrance was now Saito and Nagakura, both eyes widened at the scene. Shinomi-san! Haruka! Ha! You are the cause of my own problems. If you never came here, all of this wouldn't have happened. Haruka saw Hijikata and Haruka stand up. Her eyes then focused back on Serizawa.
Please. The Aizu would have kept calling for your death without my involvement. You're too much of a damn risk!
Serizawa just saw red. Me? A risk? I know what to do with you. It's time the pretty Okazume made her exit. Her eyes widened as Serizawa flung her into the courtyard wall. She let out a gasp before falling to the ground. The others had their eyes widened as she was just tossed like paper. Serizawa then made his way back to Ibuki, sword in hand. Ibuki turned his attention back to the monster in front of him. He couldn't speak, he couldn't move. Serizawa just raised his sword high and swung. Ibuki closed his eyes shut tight, but didn't feel any pain. He heard metal hitting metal. He opened his eyes, saw Shota blocking the attack with his arm. That part of his sleeve had a metal plate on it to protect from sharp weapons. Oh. Pretty sure that was Ibuki.
Nope, that is Serizawa.
You. Shota stared at Serizawa, pissed off. You're gonna pay for hurting niece Haruka ne. You aren't even using a sword. It's worthless on you. Worthless? This is just for backup. Shota used his strength to push Serizawa back. He managed to make him stumble before going for a punch. Serizawa saw that and dodged out of the way, kicking Shota in the back. Shota didn't fall and used the momentum to turn around and kick Serizawa in the side. A grunt came out of him as his kick connected. They both backed away before blocking each other. Try as he might, Serizawa couldn't keep up with Shota's speed as he dodged his swings. Meanwhile, Haruka was starting to gain consciousness again as she was starting to get up. Hesuke saw from the corner of his eye as he ran over to him. Hey, easy, Kasan, he said a bit quietly, not to gain attention from Serizawa.
What happened?
Serizawa flung you into a wall. After that, he went after Ryunosuke, but Shota stopped him. And, well, now they're fighting. Haruka looked up at the fight in front of her. Shota was good at fighting with his hands and body, but it wouldn't be enough to kill Serizawa. Hesuke, though, was looking at her face and saw a cut on her forehead. Hey, you're bleeding. Haruka just ignored Hesuke and stood up. Oh, hold on, Kasan, you're hurt. Haruka just took some step forward towards Shota and Serizawa. She watched Shota's movements before sprinting forward, hand on her short sword. Shota dodged a slash of Serizawa's, moving backwards away from him as Haruka ran past, her sword drawn, and pierced Serizawa's heart. You
always liked demons, didn't you?
Serizawa looked at her face. The only thing he could see through her eye were glowing blue eyes.
Then you're lucky to be killed by one.
Haruka took a glance at Ibuki before pulling the sword out. Ibuki thought he saw remorse for a second, but he was still afraid. Serizawa was just now dead on the ground in the pouring rain, his blood mixing with it and being carried away. Hijikata, Harada, Sanan, Okita, and Inoue came over. They were injured, but they would recover just fine. She just took him out. In the instant, Ibuki ran off running. Ryunosuke! Hijikata just ordered Eisuke, Saito, Nagakura, Harada, and Okita to go after him. A second later, Haruka's sword clattered to the ground as she stumbled forward a bit, holding her head with one hand. Hijikata quickly held her up. Hey, you okay?
Yeah, just a bit dizzy, don't worry.
You got thrown into a wall, Shinomi-kun. Haruka just looked up at Sanan.
Yeah, that was new for me.
Hijikata saw the cut on her forehead. You need to get that looked at. She just waved him off and got him to let go of her.
I'm fine.
He then had a scowl. Don't be stupid. You're hurt and you got thrown into a wall. You could have broken something. Shota walked up. I can take care of her. Haruka ne, I'll take you to your room. Haruka just sighed.
Alright, fine. If it'll get you all to be quiet about it.
Hijikata nodded. I'll bring you some medicine. Go. Shota and Haruka left the courtyard. Hijikata looked over at Yamazaki. Yamazaki, get Shimada and take care of Serizawa. We'll have a funeral in a few days. Got it. Got it. Yamazaki left, leaving Hijikata, Gen, and Sanan alone in the courtyard. The rain came to a stop, and you could smell the wet ground. Hijikata's eyes landed on Haruka's sword. picked it up, looked at the other two. I'm going to return this, Gen. Gen, can you go get Kondo-san? Gen nodded his head and left. Sana walked over to Hijikata. I have to say, I'm impressed with your new friend. Impressed? Or like she was reckless. Yes, but if she didn't have her companion or stayed unconscious, I don't know if we could have beaten Sarazawa. Hijikata raised an eyebrow. I wouldn't have given up that easily. There would have been some opportunity to kill him. Shinomi just found hers. He then began to walk out of the courtyard. Sana watched as he had a small smile on his face. Things are going to get much more lively after today.
You don't have to do that, you know.
I do if we want to keep things secret. Shota was wiping away the blood on Haruka's head with and face with a wet cloth. He put it down and picked up some bandages and started to wrap it around her head.
I hate that I have to act injured when these things happen. The damn thing is healed already.
Yeah, well, if they don't know that. Besides, it's only for the... He started to count on his fingers. Maybe 3 weeks, 4 just to be safe.
Just don't make it too tight.
He finished securing the bandage, then stepped back, looked at his work and smiled. There, perfect. No one will suspect a thing.
Good.
She sighed.
Now, what to do about your situation?
Shota just crossed his arms. Well, I'm out in the open, aren't I? No use going back to the shadows for now. I'll just join you. Haruka closed her eyes and thought about it. There's really no point to him hiding from Shinsengumi now that they've all seen him. And if needed, he can go back to that position when needed.
Okay, you can stay. Just don't make things more chaotic.
Don't worry, I'll be fine. Shimu barked at Shota. He had one of the bloody cloths in his mouth. Ah, Shimu, no, come on, I have to clean that up! Shota extended his hand, but Shimu ran out the door to the veranda. Shimu! Haruka just gave a short laugh.
I think Shima wants to help out after being stuck in here the entire time.
Alright, come on, Shimu, let's go wash out these cloths in your fur. He left with Shimu down the hall to find somewhere to wash them. Past Hijikata without a word, following the Shiba Inu. Hijikata just kept walking to Haruka's room. I brought you some medicine, he said, then held out her short sword. And to return this. She blinked.
Oh, I did drop that, didn't I? Thanks.
Drink!
It had occurred to me when I said the word.
Hijikata handed Haruka her sword and then knelt down and placed the tray on the ground. Should make you feel better quickly. She leaned over and saw that the drink contained some powdered medicine and hot sake.
Hot sake?
He glanced at her. Yes, you take the medicine and drink hot sake afterwards. Haruka made an unappeased face. What?
I don't like hot sake.
He blinked, unsure what even to make of that comment. Really?
Sorry, I mean, I don't drink much in general anyway.
Not a high tolerance.
Oh no, I can handle it. Just have to be careful around it for other reasons.
Haruka thought back to that one night in particular on her way back with Iba in Motoyama in Edo. She really didn't expect Motoyama not to handle his sake and, well, let's just say it ended up with him kissing her. He handed her the medicine and sake. Hijikata handed her the medicine and sake. Well, you have to drink it this way or it doesn't work. She took a bit of a closer look at the medicine.
What is this stuff? I've never seen it before.
Ishida medicine, medicinal powder.
Ishida...
Her words trailed off as if something flashed in her mind. Her eyes widened as she had a realization.
No way.
Slowly, she looked at Hijikata. He just raised an eyebrow at her. Is there something on my face?
You.
She studied his face a bit more.
You're the peddler from years ago.
Huh?
You're the one my father stopped for directions to Shie.
He sat there confused, looking at her. Did she look familiar? Her eyes slowly widen as a memory of... His eyes slowly widen as a memory of a girl that looked at him with doubt. You were that girl with a sword.
You definitely are him, then.
She looked down at the medicine.
Can't cure anything, huh? I still doubt it.
He got slightly annoyed at that. Oh, just take it already. Haruka took the medicine and drank the sake straight after. She froze for a moment before she shivered at the bitter taste and gave a strange laugh.
How is it so bitter?
Hijikata just had an amused look on his face. Haruka noticed and stared at him.
What are you smiling at?
It's nothing. His face then returned to his neutral one. So, the kid?
Shota, you mean?
He nodded.
He's one of my retainers. He usually sticks to the shadows and is actually pretty good at fighting hand to hand. He's a year younger than me, too.
He's younger, but your retainer. She nodded her head.
Shota was brought up for his role as I was with mine. Besides, we grew up together. It only makes sense.
She did place the cup back on the tray.
But now that basically all of you guys saw him, there's no point for him to go back into hiding. Hope you don't mind one other person here. He can even stay with me if room is a problem.
It's fine. We still have a few spare rooms. He then crossed his arms. Your plan almost worked, you know. I never expected Shirazawa to have a vial of the water of life. She just sighed.
Neither did I. I'm just happy he's gone now.
That's cold, even if he was a troublesome man. She shrugged.
I've seen more in 10 years than you probably have. People like Shirazawa. I can't tell where their end goal is, but it's always the same path. I hate it.
Why is that?
Because the last thing they see at the end is me. And it always ends in two ways. Regret or fear.
So, what did he have? She thought back to what had happened earlier, when she pierced his heart, her eyes staring into his. They weren't filled with regret or hate or fear. They were filled with
Peace.
peace.
Yeah. As if he was happy it was all over with. That's just weird, isn't it?
He looked away from her. Maybe he was just happy with things were done with. Or he finally saw a demon worthy of killing him, like he kept saying we were.
You said what?
He kept telling me if I wanted to make the Shinsengumi into something, that I should be a demon. And when we met you, well, I believe he had respect for you as the Shogun's demon, pointed you out as an example later. Haruka sighed heavily.
Then he was a fool. Run this group how you like, just don't lose sight of your end goal.
She looked up at him.
I'm feeling tired now. We can continue this conversation another time.
He picked up the tray and stood up. Take it easy and rest. We'll take care of things. He then exited the room and closed the door behind him. When she heard his footsteps fade away, she laid back on her futon exhausted.
I may not be hurt, but I'm just really tired and sore. Maybe I should just rest.
Haruka closed her eyes, fell asleep. A few days later, Haruka had mostly stayed in her room pretending to recover, and Shota brought her food. Shinsengumi held a funeral for Shirazawa, with the excuse given to the other captains and soldiers that he attacked Haruka and needed to be punished by death. Most of the soldiers knew that it would have happened eventually, as Serizawa had caused so much chaos. So, attacking a high official was one suited to that punishment. Haruka was fine with her being used as an excuse to keep everything a secret. One morning, Shota was wrapping the fake bandages on Haruka's head again. Okay, there. I think you're ready.
Ready to introduce yourself properly?
Yeah. Ready to get back to work?
Nope.
Aw, come on. It's not that bad.
We haven't gotten information in a while, Shota.
He put his hands on his hips. Well, I'm sure it'll come in at some point. Come on, I want breakfast. Haruka chuckled.
Okay. Let's go surprise them, I guess.
They all left the room together. Shimu led them to the common room and opened the door himself and ran inside. Made his way over to Hijikata and barked at him. Shimu? What the fuck do you want? Oh, it's just a Twitter or Twitch notification.
I love how that was in character too.
What the fuck do you want? Right there. He said, noticing that excited Shiba Inu that ran to his side.
Sorry, he's still very excitable.
Drake! Alright.
Is there a point where we should break for a bit? We've been drinking
How
a
much
lot.
longer for chapter 3? Quite a bit.
I think it's a break time.
Yeah, okay.
Break!
Yep. We'll be back later tonight, everybody.
Wait, what?
Oh, okay, never
That's
mind.
not-
You're doing a BRB.
Yeah, I'm doing a BRB. Not an actual...
Okay. Alright,
Damn it.
we'll be right back, chat.
Are we still reading? Hello?
Okay.
Are we still reading?
Yeah, but we're taking a bit of a break.
Okay.
Because, let's just say, I had to use the restroom.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out if we can choose the Splatfest right now.
I don't think there. When is
How's
the
this
next
one this week?
Splatfest?
Isn't there one this week?
No, she's just gonna be playing it on Saturday just so she could get the Haori.
I see. I'll still play. I literally, so today I went to an amusement park an hour away,
Mm-hmm.
and literally there was a water slide, and I wouldn't go down. Like, I couldn't physically go down it. I just sat there and was stuck.
Okay, it looks like the
I had
next.
to literally push myself down. I had to, like, hold onto the water slide and, like, scoot down.
So the next Splatfest is next weekend.
Yeah. I
Uh,
was too heavy. I was too big for the water slide, so it wouldn't carry me down.
so we have Team Bread, Team Rice, and Team Pasta.
Oh, that's gonna...
Because of my namesake on Friends, I kind of want to lead to Bread because he likes sandwiches.
I think Light picked?
And then we got in September, past, present, and future.
Oh, no, it's what Light picked for that one.
Yeah, we're doing path for that one.
Past, yeah, I'm gonna do that. But I can't pick it yet for some reason.
No, because that's all the way in September.
Hello?
Mhm.
Oh well.
What happened?
Talk
Forgot
about
about this Splatfest.
next weekend.
Yeah,
Oh, is
next
it?
week are we gonna do bread, rice, or pasta?
I believe most of us were in agreement of rice.
Rice.
I believe.
Bread, rice, and pasta.
I would do rice too, honestly.
Yeah, I think we're team rice. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Tetris 99 in Splatoon 3.
Wait, what?
There's a
Oh,
Maximus Cup for Tetris 99 that's involving Splatoon 3. Side order.
I see.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
Next
I went
weekend.
I went to an amusement park today, and I went on the water slide, and it wouldn't carry me down. I was too big.
Eh?
Yeah, I literally had to hold on by like the sides and scoop myself down. It was so funny.
Oh.
It was really. I was too big. It didn't have the like force to take me down. It was amazing. And I got soft served ice cream.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, cause actually, funny and sad enough, nowhere near me, like within maybe like 40 minutes away, is the closest soft served place
God
that I
damn
can.
it, you're gonna make me want to go to Andy's.
How long does that take?
It is, Andy's is about 15 minutes away, I would say.
Lucky.
And, it's a custard place, but they serve all sorts of frozen, like, ice cream treats there.
Yeah, the
cream.
closest soft serve place.
It's a local place around here.
I go to Dairy Queen, which I think is only a thing up here.
Well, there's literally a Dairy Queen across the highway from us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, but, you know, I like either Culver's or, Andy's a lot better than that.
Well, they have banana splits, you know. So.
Ice cream.
Without them.
Anyways, are we ready to continue?
Where were we?
Nowhere.
We are not in Kansas. I mean, I'm the closest one to Kansas, but we are not in Kansas. I'm gonna wait until the ad break ends in about a minute.
Okay.
I didn't
But-
play those stupid games on my phone. Man.
So where we were at was they just entered the common room and Shimu went over to Hijikata.
Alright, because I decided to use that thing twice. Shimu run into room. Excited.
He even opened the door himself.
Yes, Shimu can do that.
Bah!
Wait, what's this? Darkness has arrived. DX short for English fandom.
Eh?
It's by Team Millennium Productions.
Oh.
It was released 9 hours ago.
I haven't watched it.
They have a GX short for season 4. Yes.
Oh, how I want to be involved.
You could.
I don't know. I'm too scared to ask.
Oh, are you because you don't want to be taken down?
Eh?
Because
Copyright.
everyone that tries to do dubbing of season 4 disappears.
No, it's because I have a curse. If I join a project, eventually it just disappears into thin fucking air.
Oh.
Like, I want to very badly, but that curse has made me put off from auditioning for years and stuff.
I want to see. Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, we are back for it, so let us continue.
Go home.
Hassan, you're up. Wait, are you okay? Should you be out of your room? Calm down, Heska. She looks fine to me.
Thanks for worrying about me, Heska, but I'm fine.
Drink.
Also, we have
Oh.
double drinks.
Drink
You
water.
know why?
She said, thanks for worrying about me.
No. We have double
And
drinks.
all right, sorry, he's very excitable.
Yeah. No, because Cheezer is here too eventually.
Oh no!
So, yeah, that happened.
Kondo looked over at her. I'm sorry that happened, Shinomi-kun. She just waved her hand in front of her.
It's fine. I'm not dead, and no one could have predicted what happened.
Shota popped his head into the doorway. Haruka noticed and moved out of the way.
By the way, this is Shota Sasaki. He works for me.
He moved into the doorway and bowed. I'm glad to finally meet you all properly. You're the one that protected Ibuki, as Saito said as Shota stopped bowing. Yeah, that's right. Haruka looked around the room for a second.
Where is Ibuki-kun?
There was a long pause in the room before Okita spoke up. He died.
Died?
Okita tilted his head a bit. Yeah, he fell into the rushing river after the storm last night. After that night. Remember, it was pouring.
Really?
Haruka didn't seem like she believed it, even if it came from Okita. She just sighed.
If that's what happened, then I feel sorry for him.
She sat down along with Shota. Shimu came and laid in. Shimu then walked over and laid in her lap. I've been meaning to ask you something, Shinomi-kun. Sanan asked as she turned her attention to him. We've received money from Aizu as a reward for dealing with Sanan-san. Yeah, they killed me. As a reward for dealing with Shirazawa-san. Might have there been a mistake? Haruka just blinked.
Hmm? Maybe there was a mistake in the letter I wrote about the event. My memory is a bit fuzzy about that night.
She gave a small smile. Several faces in the room lit up at that. She didn't need the money or respect that came from Serizawa. If it put the Shinsengumi in better staying with Aizu and Kyo, then she was happy about it. And what about your assignment with Kyoto?
Well, I haven't been called back or anything. I'm assuming I'm still investigating as much as I can. Hope you don't mind us still sticking around.
We don't mind. You and Shota bring something different to the group. Shimu too. Shimu wagged his tail faster as he heard his name called. You know, if you're staying with us, why don't we have a rematch, Haruka? He grinned at her.
Why?
Come on, it's been a long time since she ate. She just rolled her eyes.
Yeah, maybe when I'm not still recovering from almost becoming as flat as a senbei.
I'll take that as a promise. Hijikata looked at Okita. Soji. That's fine. Oh.
It's fine, Hijikata-san. He'll just keep bothering me if I don't.
Then they heard a growl. A stomach growl. They turned to the direction it came from, and Shota had a bit of a red face. Haruka just gave a small smile.
Right. Breakfast.
Inoue stood up. I'll get you both some. Shota looked flustered. You don't have to do that. Nonsense. You're both still our guest, after all. Haruka ne? Haruka just looked at the side.
What do you expect me to do? Stop him? If Inoue-san wants to, why not let him?
Shota just stared daggers at her, hoping she would feel his sharp stares. She just sat there completely ignoring his attempt to get her to intervene. It got a laugh out of everyone in the room. December 1863. Haruka and Shota made themselves comfortable at the Yagi headquarters. They met a few more members. like Sakai, who worked as an accountant, and other captains who were kept away from the water of life, such as Tani, Matsubara, and
Takeda!
Hanako was in the kitchen with the captain of the 5th Division, Kanryusai Takeda. She was staring at him, pissed off.
That can't be it, Takeda.
Next to Takeda was a basket full of vegetables. He just crossed his arms and tilted his head away from her, scoffing. Of course it is. Don't you see how much I bought? It's all good quality as well.
And yet, with what I asked, the amount of money I gave you, and the change doesn't add up.
She said as she crossed her arms looking at him.
I have to give this to Sakai-kun. Check your pocket again, Takeda.
I'm telling you, this is all I have.
I don't believe you.
Then you should go yourself if you want to overlook change.
What was that?
If you want things done correctly, you should go yourself. Or is that above you? Sparks are flying between these two as they locked eyes.
It's not Takeda. This is about keeping track of things. If you can't do that with change, then what kind of captain are you?
Then you shouldn't be a lazy official that can't go buy things herself.
Me? It was your turn. I went last week.
Around the corner, Heisuke and Saito were watching. Ever since they were introduced to one another, Takeda and Hadaka had had terrible chemistry together. Things got heated, so Heisuke looked up at Saito. Hajime, this is bad. They keep fighting. Someone is gonna draw their sword. Right, let's intervene. Heisuke blinked as Saito entered into the kitchen, quickly following behind him. Is there a problem? Ah, Saito. He quickly changed his demeanor to one that was calmer. Shinomi-san says I didn't give her the correct change.
You didn't, and you know it.
Hadaka was still pissed. Takeda, can't you just check your pocket again? Surely that couldn't hurt. Fine. Reached into his kimono. After a few seconds, his eyes widened and he had a slightly phased look on his face. He pulled his hand out and had more.
I'm getting a phone call.
Okay. Hold on, folks.
Okay. I'm gonna get going. See you guys.
Alright. Yeah.
Hello?
Oh look,
Uh,
what happened?
my dad came here because my mother bought a sofa that turns into a bed.
Oh,
And,
a
that thing...
futon.
Yeah, that thing got, stuck, so,
Oh,
Dad had to come and fix it. She's gonna send it back.
oh,
It's too big.
okay.
Now, where the fuck were we?
Surely that couldn't hurt. Fine. He reached. Takeda reached into his kimono, and after a few seconds, his eyes widened and he had a slightly phased look on his face. He pulled his hand out and had more money in his hand. Seems I may have forgotten more. See, no problem solved. Just hand it over to Kasan. Takeda hesitantly handed over the change to Haruka, who took it out and let out a breath.
I'm taking this to Sakai-kun.
Haruka just let the fine Sakai. Takeda also leapt in the opposite direction as soon as she was out of his sight, with his head held high. Hesuke just let out a big sigh as his shoulders slumped. We should probably tell Hijikata-san not to pair them up anymore, right? Saito nodded his head. That would be best to avoid more conflict, at least until he speaks to her again. Haruka made her way down the halls to find Sakai in his room.
Sakai-kun, are you busy?
Sakai looked up from his books towards the door. Oh, Shinomi-san. I'm not that busy. Did you need something? Haruka came over and handed the change to him.
This is the change from the market run.
Sakai took it in his hand and glanced at it. Oh, thank you. You're one of the few people that are on top of this stuff.
Yeah, well, I had to fight with Takada to get all of it.
He looked uneasy. You fought Takada-san?
It was just a verbal argument. Turns out the rest of it was in his pocket.
There was a quick sigh that escaped from him before he smiled. Well, misunderstandings happen, Shinomi-san.
I know, but Takada is stubborn. Anyway, I need to go work on dinner. Goodbye, Sakai-kun.
Oh, goodbye, Shinomi-san. Yamazaki was looking around Yagi for Shota. He had checked his room and then found himself back there. Where is he? He looked around his room but found no one. He crossed his arms and thought for a second as he walked back out to the veranda. Saki-san? Saki-san? Sakaki-san?
Oh my god.
Sasaki-san.
Sasaki.
Sasaki-san, he called out. Yeah? Yeah? Shota popped out from the eaves on the roof, upside down as he appeared in front of Yamazaki's face. That startled him a bit as he jumped back. You were on the roof? What were you doing up there? Napping. You take naps on the roof? Only when it's a nice sunny day. Plus, no one ever checks the roof. Well, except Haruka-ne. He did flip down onto the veranda and stood up. So, what'd you need? Is there any way you could teach me some ways of doing your job? Shota blinked and tilted his head. Why? I feel this would benefit not just me, but the Shinsengumi if my work was better than it currently is. Shota smiled and then hopped off the veranda, motioning to Yamazaki to follow him into the small courtyard. Yamazaki quickly followed behind him. Well, first, one thing is that you have to have a purpose. That's not the Shinsengumi. Just saying that you want to benefit the Shinsengumi isn't enough. He turned to face him. Like me. Sure, I benefit the entire Shinomi clan doing my job, but my purpose is to protect and serve Haruka-ne. Do you have something like that? Yamazaki looked down as he thought back to the one meeting he had with Hijikata. When he told him how, even though he was just a child of a farming family, peddling Ishida medicine for years before joining Shie, wanting to become a samurai by working up the ranks to help Kondo's dream become one. It was a story he could relate, as he wanted to become one instead of following his family's footsteps as acupuncturist in medicinal fields. That look tells me you do. Don't tell me you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. It's the vice commander. Hijikata-san? Yamazaki nodded his head. If he's your purpose to serve and protect, then don't lose sight of it. Shota then thought for a second. Yamazaki, do you curious? Oh, I should probably not do this right now. Ad break.
Oh.
35 seconds though.
Alright.
Okay.
Da-da-da. Man, this is a rare long stream.
I know, right?
But it's so fun!
I know.
Right.
Okay. It's the vice commander. Hijikata-san? Yamazaki nodded his head. If he's your purpose to serve and protect it, don't lose sight of it. Shota then thought for a second. Yamazaki, do you carry a sword? I have a wakizashi, but I rarely use it, preferring knives and kunais. Go get it. You need to learn it. But I'm not. Shota smiled at him. Hey, I like kunais and everything, but if you at least don't know how to draw a sword to defend yourself, then what's the point of being a samurai? Even Harada-san carries one. I'll go get it. Yamazaki ran out to get his sword as Shota stood there waiting. This is gonna be interesting. I'm not as good as Haruka-ne, but maybe I'll teach him something. After a few minutes, Yamazaki came back. Good. Now what we'll do is come at each other full force. Shota then got a good distance away from Yamazaki. However, Yamazaki had a nervous look. Are you sure? Shota just nodded his head and drew his sword. Yamazaki hesitated for a bit before drawing his. There was silence in the courtyard as the sun shone down. Suddenly, a gust of wind passed by and both of them ran toward each other. Their swords clashed together and were even at first before it was clear Shota was a stronger force behind his sword. Hey, that's not bad, Yamazaki. You probably don't need that much more training. Yamazaki's eyes widened in surprise. Normally, when he trains under Okita, he's not praised like this. Shota, however, was honest about everything. His smiles were all genuine. Yamazaki stopped struggling before lowering his sword, making Shota lower his and tilt his head. Something wrong? You aren't as harsh as everyone when it comes to training. Shota nodded. Well, that's just how I choose to look at things. More like I was trained that way. As part of the Shinomi clan? But Shinomi-san isn't that way. Well, not the Shinomi clan's way. That's the Sasuke clan's way. Wait, you're not a part of the Shinomi clan? I am. Shinomi clan took my clan about 4 generations ago. We were basically banished north and made a home there. Shota put a hand on his head. Due to them taking us in, we offered our services as spies and protectors. And one of the rules is to not let anything bother us unless necessary. Is that why you're always happy? Pretty much. Even before me dealing with it differently. I prefer to look on the bright side of things. Like teaching you. It'd be a fun activity for me, for when I'm not busy. Would you like that, Yamazaki? Yamazaki took everything in with an unreadable direction on his face. Wouldn't it be fun? It would be fun? That's a strange way of him asking for him to see things, but didn't seem to be bothered at all when he asked him for help. Yamazaki nodded and smiled a bit. I'm fine with this. Alright then, let's start with meditation. Meditation? Yes, meditation. How do you think I'm almost as undetectable most of the time? Shota then remembered something. You actually have a good sense of things considering you sensed me that one day. That's what I was feeling? Your senses were probably heightened because of how tense everything was. But I can teach you how to do that without being pushed to your limits. Shota then sheathed his sword and sat on the ground. So let's meditate. Yamazaki joined him and they spent the rest of the afternoon working on his senses. Why do I feel like Shota would be voiced by Nathan Fillion?
Eh?
It's mostly because of his character in Destiny, Cade 6.
Explain.
Um,
Any other roles that I might actually know? Because I don't play
let's see here. He did quite a. Aside from his work on Destiny, there was also his work for the Halo franchise, both of which were Bungie properties.
Makes sense.
He's done a lot of live action stuff. Let's see. Let's see voice worth. He's currently like sometimes gets switched around between Nolan North at times.
Huh.
I
don't know if that would be the.
There we go.
Gonna switch to this color instead.
Let's see. Voiced Hal Jordan a lot in some of DC. I'm not seeing anything that would click immediately with you.
Oh no.
I know, but
Well, there's only one answer. You gotta send a clip.
You know what? I'm just gonna find Cade.
You think that voice would fit with this boy?
With Shota? Yes.
That's on screen at the moment.
Alright, there. Yes.
Huh. Shota is 1 year younger than Haruka, which means it's the same age as Nagakura and Shiranui.
Let's see, for Cade, despite his diligence... Wait a minute, where is it? Admitted and dutiful, Cade 6 fought with the Vanguard after the death of his friend Endel Brosk at the hands of Tannic Scudder. Fortunately for Tez, Glimmer was one of the few Night Watchers until Oryx entered the sun.
Whatever that
Yeah.
means.
Let's see, During the Forsaken. Not Bila. Give me a personality, damn it. He basically the way that puts that, he's roguish and charming, and I feel like that also fits Shota as well.
Shota's very cheerful.
Yeah. Let's see. What were you going to do with a Vex teleporter? Get up close and personal with Gaul? Put a bullet in his head? Or maybe eat a sandwich? Anyways, let's continue on. Late December 1863. Stop moving around. There.
That's
Now,
Yeah.
snow had piled up in the courtyard overnight as the Yagi headquarters started to wake up. Haruka was in the kitchen brewing some tea. She had pale pink cotton over her normal outfit as it was cold outside and throughout Yagi in general. People were waking up a bit late to keep warm a little longer, but there was nothing a bit of warm tea could have fixed. I'll think we're gonna get ourselves a spot of tea here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hijikata passed by the kitchen when he noticed Haruka there. Found it a bit amusing to see her in a hotten. Aren't you from somewhere much colder than this? Haruka heard him and turned around to see him in the doorway.
Yeah, but I'm not an idiot to go out without some warmth.
I feel like Haruka is from Sinnoh.
Oh God. Are there any other cold places? I'm trying to think. Well, really, it could be either Sinnoh or Johto. To be fair.
Well, Johto and Kanto are located right next to each other.
Yeah, and so is Sinnoh. Sinjo, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
tunnel?
there is Sinjo, yeah.
Yeah, Sinjo Tunnel, whatever the fuck it was.
Sinjo Ruins.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but I'm not an idiot to go without some warmth.
Yeah, Sinnoh is in the northern part of Japan. With Johto and Kanto about midway between that and Hoenn.
Huh.
Hey,
She pointed
sure.
to the tea.
Let's see.
Want some?
She didn't point to the tea yet. Sure, sounds great. Actually, he made his way over to Haruka and poured him a cup. As Haruka poured him a cup, he glanced at the Haten before speaking again. Pink, huh?
Yep. Pink. I didn't pick it out, but I can't deny a present like that.
Who gave it to you?
I think it was Matsudaria himself one time after an assignment.
She handed him a cup of nice warm tea. He raised an eyebrow as he took the cup from Haruka. You think?
I've gotten many gifts in the past where they were trying to kill me, so forgive me if I don't exactly remember where I got something from.
He froze as he took a sip and looked at her. How many people exactly did you piss off? She shrugged and took a sip of her tea, leaving Hijikata baffled at how she managed to do that. She seemed bothered. Made him think she was either way too comfortable with her situations or more insane than he thought. He sighed and sipped his tea.
Ah!
Your tea is not bad.
Hold up, I'm getting another phone call. Fucking
God
hell.
damn it!
Ah!
Hold on, folks.
Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, where were we?
Let's see. Your tea is not bad.
Thanks. Drink.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'd asked to try some of yours, but I know you're banned from the kitchen.
Who the hell told you that?
Soji.
That little... She chuckled.
He wanted to play catch up and tell me everything I missed since I left. And that just happened to come up.
She then tilted her head to look up at the ceiling.
But please, tell me, how exactly did you mess up porridge?
His face was slightly red as he turned to her. That is none of your business. She laughed.
Alright, I won't ask any further.
She then smiled at him.
You're much better when you're commanding than cooking anyway.
He cleared his throat as he tried to compose himself. Is that supposed to be a compliment? She looked into her cup.
I guess. Heard you're now being called the Demon Vice Commander. Now we share a title together.
Is that really a title worth sharing? She took another sip of her tea before answering.
Being a demon is a heavy thing to carry. Trust me. There's a lot of trust and faith behind that.
She then set her cup down, only drinking half of it.
Well, I'm going out today. I found a lead, so... Oops. So Shota and I are heading out to check on it.
In the snow? Haruka made her way to the doorway and turned her head back at him.
I'm from a much colder place, remember? Little snow isn't going to hurt us.
She then turned back and exited the kitchen. Hijikata saw her disappear before looking at the cup she put down. A lot of faith and trust, huh?
And that
Chapter
was-
4.
Which we read last night. Half.
Yep. So let's put this here. Put that down. Alright. Alright.
I will try to play catch up with the chapters. I'm just having a hard time with chapter 5.
Okay, well, there's that map that I found.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it would be further up north.
It would be Sinnoh. If we're going by canon logic, yeah.
Because everything else takes place over in Kanto and Johto, doesn't it?
Ye- Oh, you're right. Fuck, you are right.
Because it's too warm for it to be in it's too cold to be in Sinnoh. Or Hoenn, I mean.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
Well, we finished reading most of it.
For now. All right.
Oh,
So, what now? Just gonna end it then, because it's been.
yes, it's almost 4 hours.
I got laundry to do too.
Yeah. Oh.
Well.
Minus the
we-
interruptions, this was fun.
Yeah, it was. Let's see tonight what we got.
Biroshana.
Yep.
Oh boy. Do we not?
Busky is on. When was the last time we rated him?
Oh, give me Booski.
Yeah.
Fuck, give.
I'm giving it. Hush. Lagging is my domain. Follow. Anyways, yeah, that'll be happening tonight. We got our usual weekend stuff tomorrow and Sunday, and then Monday altar art.
Yeah.
Where after I get home on Monday, there will be more reading.
Would there?
I mean, well, no, because we gotta wait until we
Thursday.
get through chapter 4 in the game.
Well, not chapter 4 in the game, just Ikeda.
Ikeda, which is in chapter 4 in what you're writing, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway,
Please drink water.
have a good day or night.
Try not to die because you didn't drink water. We will see you in a couple hours, everybody.
Yep.
Bye!